Hello? Oh, okay. Hello everyone, I'm back for today. Everything is good. I just muted myself for a second. I was wondering what was wrong with my mic. Yeah, so today we're gonna play a visual novel. The name is called Our Life Now and Forever. Yeah, so basically by the title, it's such a game where you basically make a bunch of custom choices, and then those choices themselves impact the rest of the game, so yeah. Yeah, it's like custom choices. I mean, like, apparently we can design our character, like, who we're gonna play as, and then we also can apparently determine the relationships to a certain extent. So that will also affect the story and relationships of the characters. Yeah, so kind of have your own, like, semi-personalized story in that sense. So yeah. Let's go to the actual game screen just so you guys can see it. And we can start playing. Bam! Here we go. Yep, as you can see, version 1.3. It's a demo, so I don't know exactly when it'll get released, the full version, but they already have one game in this series called Our Life, I think it's like Beginning something. Wait, let me look it up. Dun, 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 dun. The other one is, yeah, Our Life Beginning and Always, yes. Yeah, so this their first video is actually pretty, it's rated pretty highly actually on Steam, so that's the reason why I actually wanted to check this one out. So yeah. On that note, we should start. New game. A preview that includes the first few scenes of the game's prologue. Yeah, I think the demos are around an hour long, so our stream will probably be 1 to 2 hours long today. So expansion improvements to the game will come out as time goes on. For example, the finished version will have partial voice acting, and usually doesn't has any voice lines. Yep. Game's complete, the entire story will be playable from start to end for free. However, the optional paid DLCs will be available to add in even more scenes. Yeah, this is how they make money for their first game as well. The main game for the first game is also entirely free, and like extra stuff like voices or extra scenarios, they're all DLC essentially. Oh, whoops. My right click is to save. Okay, it's nice to know. But as you can see, the plan is to have like 15 chapters, I think, or something like that. It's like 15 to 20 chapters. The very start is a brief tutorial that will be skippable in future playthroughs. It will help you get acquainted with all the many ways your choices can impact how the game plays. At any time, you can press the pref button on the left side of the game screen to open the settings and make the experience better suited for you. Okay, you can change the text size, font style, sound, volume levels, turn the animation elements on and off, and other general options. The story of Our Life Now and Forever spans 12 years, with the characters you play as beginning as a 10-year-old child, ending as a 22-year-old adult. Okay, interesting. Between those points are 2 other stages of life, 14-year-old adolescence and 18-year-old young adulthood. These time periods are referred to as steps 1 to 4. The only contains scenes from childhood. Will determine almost everything about how the player character, name, appearance, personality, pronouns, skill, weakness, how they act, what they feel more. Okay. Although those details can change as you grow up over the course of the game, however, they won't be forgotten. Who you are, and who you're remembered by the game, and the characters you meet. Choices you pick in step 1 can still be referenced all the way in step 4 and built together. Go over Our Life is let you truly live your own unique life in the quaint mountain of Golden Grove. Fun. The 2 lead characters who grew up alongside your own MC, Tamarick Bauman and Kulin. Yes. They're the 2 people on the cover. Option of being their friend, pursuing one romantically, having them simply be people you know, and a connection change over time, and so on. Oh, that's interesting. The shape is customizable and progress as at whatever rate you want it to if you wanted to. But there are a couple limits to what you can do. You can't date them both, break up with one after officially getting together. If you have lead to becoming a partner, that's permanent. Okay, interesting. Like a little girl, she, her, when you met, she always as a woman. Q open interest he, him, the question said, well, Q eventually come as gender fluid. Okay, that's interesting. Q the romance, question 2 romance is strictly about identifying character. Blah blah. We do have another game. I think that's your preference. Yep, it's the first game. We'll be other characters to interact with and best be friend besides Tamara and Q. Ken. Get to know along with other kids in your teacher and so on will be in your control, okay? Let's see, let's go actually play it. First you do with characters to independence based on your characteristics. Cute. First name, last name, and added nickname too. You can also give your general size to the dominant and so on. It's also customizable well, that'll be more cute just later. Okay. Okay, let's skip this customization stuff. Bum. Okay, please type. Do this one, I guess. Bum. What's up to my eye shape that I drew for myself? It's this one. Is it this one? It's this one. Bum. Hair. Similar to. Well, they have so much hairstyles. Let's find out it's similar to ours, the most similar. I think it'll be a bit hard though. Bum. Oh, they have something similar. Okay. Yeah, I think it's the most similar one that we have. Something like this, yeah. Bum. For outfits. Let's see. We need to make an outfit that has like a color on it around. We can actually do a maid outfit here, so we can. Wow. Okay. Over layers. Bum. Customization is the best part. Don't you think so too? I should change back to what it originally was. No, this is just the jacket. Yeah. I want to always have this, so accessory. They're kind of similar. But we can base it on our rating PNG actually. This is sneeze just now. Oh, with our hair, we're not gonna be able to see our earrings anyway, though. But let's give it ourselves anyway. All ribbons. This bit. Earrings. Not very bad. Bandages. I think we're good. Boop. Extras. Scars. We don't have any. Birthmarks. Nope. Moles. We don't have any. There. Freckles or acne. Nope. Train our skin color to match the one that we are using. Do this. Those. I think we're good. I think it's random. Frankie second. Yes, whoops. Sapphire. And then boom. Nightmare. What's your name? It'll be Safi. Right hand. Yep. It's accurate. Body type medium, I guess. Short. It's a bit average. I don't think I'm that short in real life. Kind of, but love to again. I get this edited piece from C. MC's appearance, you can make this aspect of your character as personalized as you want or not make use of the more specific elements, okay? Determine the gender, the MC was assigned at birth, what pronouns they use, if they use multiple pronouns, blah blah. Like, so your assigned gender at birth at the start of every new step, okay. Then you have to go through transfer double, okay. Okay. This. Guess this one? Sir Sapphire Nightmare. A damn. Nice. What's this, I guess? Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Here's the magical mother, okay. She has 3 hatred and 6 skin tones. You can have a look at somewhere as different variants as you like. She's very child on her own and use artificial, okay. The financial represent story. There's a lot of, okay. Bum 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 bum. Let's see. Well, I call it my mom this, but it's in Korean though, so might as well. Bum bum bum. This one, I mean. Dun 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 dun. Hello, how are you? Hello, I'm good. Bum, bum, bum. How's your day? Good. Just customizing these characters. Woke up early in the morning today, so that's why I'm awake. Starting earlier today than I usually do, huh? Last week after the store start your interface display, okay. Certain graphic scenes and more save files, okay. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. Workbook style, business next one. Okay. Let's see. What fits our character? So I guess. Glad to hear it. Yep, I hope you're doing good too. Should we try this style maybe, I guess? Is it the full style? Okay, look. We're starting the actual game now. Yay! Okay, let's save though. We just finished customizing everything. Bum bum bum. It's like fall out here in Golden Grove. Were there any place you'd seen before? It could be in one of your old picture books to show little kids what autumn was supposed to be like. The 3 houses is me and the other 2 characters on the screen. There weren't any green trees or bushes, but there weren't just bare branches yet. It was almost the same as normal. All that had changed were the colors red, orange, yellow, brown. Even the blue of the sky high above your head seemed different than it did in the summer. It wasn't as bright either, as though it had gotten tired of sparkling by this late in the year, or like it was even farther away from you now that you were in this place. Oh yeah, so this game is basically a visual novel where you can just custom make your own character plus your mother, basically. So yeah, it seems like it's pretty yeah, so that's pretty cool. And apparently you can also customize strengths and weaknesses and some of your relationship with other characters, so because apparently the goal is to make it as personalized as possible. Yeah, so this game and their previous game, Our Life Beginning and Always or something like that. Apparently for both of them the main game will be free and extra stuff is what you pay for if you want more of it. So yeah, if you want to go check out their other game. I might play the other game on screen one day. It's pretty rated high on Steam, so yeah. Planet and sky didn't get this way where you lived, where you used to live. Okay, your thoughts continued to jump around while you stood there in the big circle of the street at the end of the road. There's a weird path to you. It couldn't take you ahead or to the sides, or anywhere else like most streets you'd gone down. This one only came right here with those big houses. Okay, the view in front of you was something you'd only ever seen in photos before, from stapled together papers that advertised the middle house being for sale. Okay, it had been a picture book to you until this day, because you're in the middle house. Now you knew that it felt like fall here too, because it was cold outside. Chilly enough that you sometimes held your eyes closed for a few seconds, longer than usual to try keeping your eyeballs from feeling like they were gonna freeze inside your head. This was a real place. The icy air surrounding you said, and you were really in it, and it was where you were going to stay that was new. Well, it's just as cold here too. Your mom and you had lived in apartments before, and never for very long each time. That was until she'd gotten a big job in this not that big town and bought a big house. You wouldn't be going anywhere else for a long time. Now, in that moment, you couldn't imagine being there forever. That's just the way it was. The old tan house at the very end of the long round road was now your house, standing tall with two others by its side. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Okay, those buildings were homes too, with their own people living inside, and those people in those ancient houses were going to be your neighbors. Hi, Alucard. Hi, back to you too. Yeah, so we're playing this visual novel demo. Apparently the main game for this one will be free, as their previous work. It's also called now in so look at our life. I think it's called Beginning and Always. I think I already forgot the name of it, but yeah. So both of these will be free, and apparently if you want to buy extra stuff like voice acting, once these games are done, yeah, that's basically the stuff that's gonna cost money, plus other extra scenarios and stuff. So yeah, nice that the base game is free. I might continue this and finish on my channel depending on when it ever comes out, but we'll see. Oh wow, there's a lot of choices here. Oh, this is a choice, important choice. I guess we should start saving, maybe. Seemed okay to you. You felt kind of mixed up inside. You're super excited about everything happening. You are mad. There wasn't much you felt about. It all makes you so sad. You felt scared. This would really be something you thought. What's this one? I think it was going to be boring anymore. It was even better because you'd be doing it with your mom. It's good that the part was nice since your mom was no fun. It's this one, I guess. Have so much fun together. Sapphire, come on over and take a look, okay? Well, that was your mom's voice. You hadn't noticed she'd gotten so far. You had no time catching up in order to reunite with her. But the demo is only going to contain scenes from the childhood phase of this game. There's going to be 4 phases: childhood, teenage, it's like late teenage or something like that, and then early adulthood. Yeah, it's like the cul-de-sac road, and cutting across lines of grasses and sidewalk, you reached a picket fence your mom had called from. The gate was unlocked, okay? Like the other houses in front of yours, the tiny gray stone walkway that led up to a couple little steps, and those steps led to the door. You walked along the private path, making sure each foot landed squarely on a rock. I do that I even do that to this day. I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's fun. And not on one of the dirt cracks in between until you arrive at the end of the line. Then you hopped up the tiny stairs to stand beside your mom. And there your mom was standing at the edge of the porch, arms folded and waiting, okay? She had been moving around before because the shiny opal earrings she had on were twisting from side to side a little bit. No, they're real opal stones because she told you before when she first got them. She also told you a long time ago that her normal name, mom, was Opal, okay? Her clothes were the colors of a cloudy day after rain had already come and gone. That kind of day that could be cold and bad or really relaxing and comfy, it depended. Yep, Kitty's comfy game. You wondered which way she looked at it from, you didn't know. Rest of her, though, was so much more bold, especially the matching purpley cranberryness of both her hair and eyes, okay? There weren't a lot of things out in the world with that color that could feel gloomy. Harry would always say that the purple in your hair came from her. That seemed cool. What if your mom ended up in you? Really? We have her complete purple hair though. Mom smiled at you, made you feel as soft and warm on the inside as your mom was on the outside. Okay, so this is the simple style, it's comic booky style they talked about. What do you think? It's a pretty place, huh? I've seen worse junk. Why can you be so mean? I see a better place. It's beautiful. I have my own room, right? It stinks, he said bluntly. He said jokingly. Okay, I guess. Looked at her blankly. Not eagerly, shook her head furiously. Let's act like a bratty kid, I guess. This one. You will, my dear. Her mouth stayed in the shape of a smile. Her eyes and eyebrows changed. Bending in a way that made it seem like she wasn't really smiling, or it was some other kind of smile, okay? She put a hand on one of the white painted pole things that kept the porch roof from falling down. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what they're called either. Finger moved down it. Won't be too much longer. Real estate agent should be here to hand over the keys in a couple hours or so. You guys are locked out. That's great. I'll be official. The newest residents of Golden Grove. I don't know how this dialogue looks like on screen, actually. It might be kind of small, so I'm gonna... It's a simple text box, actually. Yeah. And then... we should also make the text bigger, too. Is it here? Yeah, okay. I think that's better for everyone. You shifted your weight from one foot to the other. This was a big deal to your mom. Her whole life was changing, too. Yep. It wouldn't be a mistake. You didn't want your mom to be sad. Well, you see in the yard on the outside, you don't have to wait here the entire time. Why don't you go look around the rest of the neighborhood? Yeah, I guess I had something similar to this, experience where, I lived somewhere else, and then I moved to a better place later. Yeah, I used to live in this apartment that, it was gated, but it was like, I'm not saying it's like the best quality or whatever, but it was safe at least, that's all I'm gonna say. Because, I don't think it's that safe outside to be honest, in terms of the neighborhood, so... Yeah, so my parents eventually moved to a different house, and that's the family house that I'm currently living at before I moved back. So yeah. She bent down, placing her hands on her knees in order to speak directly to you on the same level. To save town, especially in this area, you'll be able to play freely out here. Picked right up the suggestion, you jumped up happily. Your eyes went wide in fear. You huffed unhappily, you merely shrugged. You covered your face with your hands, not wanting to go. Turned your face away from her in defiance. I'll be somewhat realistic to my real self. Go back to her normal way of standing with her head up high and arms folded. It's okay to be nervous. It doesn't have to change, but something even when you're unsure is for the best. Oof. People tell me that all the time. It's one of those times. You might find you're braver than you think you are. Just don't stray into any of the streets today. Okay. Can't remember the rules, but you can that to yourself. Don't know about the restriction. I guess so. I mean, I wouldn't leave the streets if I don't know where it would lead me. Thank you, I trust you. With that, you let your gaze fall down the steps across the path into the gated fence. You took a half step in that direction. Mom pushed the air in front of her and gestured to encourage you to go forward, putting one foot in front of the other. Bum bum bum. Step 1, prologue. Okay. Your shoes really squished into the dirt part where you crossed from where you were down the solid road. Smell of the grass and rain softened ground. Yes, though somehow also kind of musty, hung in the air, bringing a whole new year of school with it. You're going to be a 5th grader. You'll be completely different from being just a 4th grader, not just because you'd be attending a new school. You'd be in the highest grade of the place. And that was why your mom was so sure you could do this by yourself. You were growing up. I actually moved when I was in elementary school too. Not to the age though. But she was wrong. You weren't ready, no matter how many adults said so. Then, before you took one more step, there was a faint tap against your shoulder. It was barely stronger than the wind, but it was definitely something, and it was completely out of nowhere. I wonder what that was. She asked in her shock. And defensively screamed. Your shoulder feeling knowing whatever it was a ghost. You deduced. Why not? This town was haunted. Well, houses, it made sense. Rapidly, you ping-ponged your gaze from left to right, trying to get a glimpse of the poking perpetrator. No one was there. The neighborhood was empty except for you. Yes, you had judged as an invisible ghost, or you'd have said it all if you hadn't noticed that there was a thing you could actually see left behind her the encounter. Sitting there, between the muddy brown blades of grass, was something new. Oh, it was a paper airplane. Okay. Oh, whoops. Who throws at a stranger, and why would they disappear after doing it? Are you considering those questions? You shifted back towards the right, the side of the street where the tap came from. Or sent this to you had gone that way. I was trying to grab it while keeping a lookout to make sure nothing else snuck up on you. Paper didn't feel the same creakly, crackly way that most normal paper did. It was thicker, somehow almost like a piece of cloth. It was cottony. Interesting. That wasn't the only part that stood out. The page was a tan color with dark brown lines, not white and blue or white and black or something regular. More questions to add to confusion. Where would paper like that have come from? You turned the paper airplane around in your hands and squinted your eyes keenly. There were pencil markings on the underside. Paper had scribbles or maybe even words on it. That was enough of a sign to undo the shape someone had put together. You pulled out the flaps of the plane and flattened it out between your palms as best as you could. It was true. Your airplane had a message on it. Well, maybe you thought. There were some words on it, but not a lot, and they were on different lines from each other. Right over each tiny part from top to bottom. Hello. Go out. Hide out. In the bottom corner was Sapphire Nightmare. Your name. And I've noticed you personally. It was a mistake that you were the one meant to get that plane. Interesting. Don't shut your shut your face. I could wrote stuff on a piece of paper, meant to paper airplane. You had another person, and the message they sent was that. That was too weird for you. This was so cool. This we were solving. This was stupid. This scared you. This was something. I'm messing with you, and it makes sense. I had to tell your mom right now to get the bottom of this. Exploring us, I go back to the house. You just wanted to get back. Oh, we should be trying to meet the characters though, so I guess we'll do this so we can find out who it is. Someone or something has to have sent this to you. You're gonna stop until you find out who and why. Past the parts where the light shone through the clouds and the part where it got darker. You began your investigation by heading in the same direction the paper had hit you from. The half circle of houses was out of sight by the time the normal sidewalk ended, and it really ended. Instead of connecting to another street with homes or stores, there was the car road behind you and a bunch of trees and playing ground in front. Going down the road would have to bring you to the rest of the town eventually, but you were sure that would be straying too far like your mom warned against. That was okay, you had other options. Bending in between the dark trunks and bright leaves, hopefully we don't get lost, were two lines stamped out through the grass. They went opposite directions. It was a crossroads. One led more towards where the neighborhood was, the back further right on the edge of where the forest started. It went completely into the trees, a walking path for people who lived here. Stood at the start of the turning point in the woods in your life, you poised to move over the stirring thicket floor. This one. There's a path here that was definitely more worth than trying the other. You were sure of it, so the inside just told you so. Dang it. I forgot. Save here, I guess. I forgot which one was the right way. Wasn't it this one? And your quest continued. Path ended up being kind of a trick. Kind of dirt to walk on after only a minute or two. Came plain grass everywhere. Luckily, you only had to keep following the curved blend of brush and tree trunks that separated the forest from not the forest to know you're going where you had planned to go. Then, as you strolled even farther, something came into view. You almost didn't notice it at first. Stretching almost as high as the trees and made out of practically the same colored wood was a tower sort of thing. The bottom of it was mostly empty space, with thin stick poles at the corners and only one full wall. There were little fake rocks stuck to the boards on the wall side, probably for people to climb on. Yep, little rock climbing place. Above was an actual floor with a slanty roof and railings around. Yep, some ropes dangled off of it in multiple places. The thought came to you that had the same feeling as a tree house, except not in a tree. Definitely wasn't a real house. You might have found a local playground. Cautiously, you moved closer until you came to a stop. To the shocking realization that there was something up there in the top. Your eyes wide and your neck bent back so far might fall over you can make out a lumpy pile. Let's see. Must be this one. Reaching one foot higher and the other closer to anchor yourself, you had hold of different fake rocks attached to the wall. You would then situate one of your feet onto the lowest climbing points. You have to strain your arms to pull the foot on the rock, then carry all your weight as you lifted the other in the air. Should be that difficult, right? Whoops. Not tricky, but you got the second foot against a rock of its own that was higher up than the first. You made it fully off the ground. The sudden sound of a clattering ruckus from inside the fort made you flinch in place. It was a scrambling, thinning noise that you knew came from movement. That lump stopped being just a lump. It shot up, but right over the railing, peered down and saw you. One of the characters! Yay! No another character introduced that. Interesting. It was a kid. Isn't that the truth? Who were they? That's all you wonder? You can look away for the deep brown eyes, the pointy hairline you noticed. It was a brave person I've ever seen. I like the fluffy coat. Your hands started to shake as you held yourself up against the wall and stood back onto the grass. The person stayed put. A silent standoff surprise played out between you and the stranger. And altogether, one half of their mouth, one of their eyebrows, and one of their hands shifted upward. The lopsided pose they had and the fact that they were at the top of a tower made them seem pretty in charge here. Who are you? Why are you in my backyard? Oh, they were in charge here. I'm Sapphire. Oh, this was your backyard, I can tell. Sorry, I'm looking for something. Who are you? Absolutely nothing. Backyard, there's no fence or anything. Hi. This will just be me. Hi. With that, they pressed the palms of their hands against the railing, used it to kick their legs up over the side and throw themselves right off the fort. With a powerful crunch and gust of air, the person hit the ground just a little to the side of where you were. Landed over their feet, crashing into a ball, making the hood of their jacket flip over their head from the impact from falling so far down. Bum bum bum. The person stayed like that for long enough that the leaves they stared at settled quietly onto the grass again. Then the kids straightened themselves out with more poise than you could have expected. Cute childhood story. Square shoulders, chin up, and with one hand they pushed their head down over their back again. They confident and knew how to show it. That's that. Why would you do that? So cool. As teenagers, it was so dumb to do. Jumping off there, you could have crushed me. You're left speechless. It was impressive. Especially if it was crazy. Let's see. I don't think I would talk. Duke hold open sides of their jacket, flapped them out, shaking off bits of sticks and whatever other stuff that got on it. They clotted with the dirt. Anyway, they shuddered their head around to grab their hair back over their shoulders the way it was before, and then jabbed a finger into their own chest. I'm Mr. Kulin, Q-I-U-N-L-I-N. It means Q's arms spread out openly, gesturing to the wide world all around. Autumn, nice to meet you. It's a cute name. I use Miss, Madam, and Miss. Why did you say it's so fancy? You didn't say. But shouldn't the U come after the Q? Mister, you're a kid. Why did you say it weird like that? I'll just do this. My name's Sapphire. Great, but what's your whole name, Sapphire? Just enough that you gave him your name in the end. Sapphire Nightmare, and I use Miss, Madam, and Miss, okay? That was perfect, Sapphire Nightmare. People should call me Sapphy. Only my mom uses that name. But people sometimes call me Sapphy except my mom. My friends always call me Sapphy. My friends sometimes call me Sapphy. See. Cool, and I get your name too. It's Autumn, because like I said, that's what my name means. You can use it if you wanna. Alright. Wait, and also, how old are you? We seem pretty similar. 10 whole years, yeah. Quinn slapped his fingerless gloved hands against the front of his chest to show just how taken aback he was. Whoa, so am I. Nobody else close by was exactly 10 before, but now there's you. And you're gonna grow up someday, and I'm gonna grow up too. It's not gonna stop us from sitting at the same age. Cool. Kids are so easily impressed. Yeah, this is great. Okay. At this age, I still act older than you do. Vtubers for this age, you still act older than I do. So the college story gave you thumbs up. Let's do this one. Our 10-year-olds are better than less, yes. But talk you are having ended with a clear clap from Q to bring it closer. Now that we're people who know each other, I still want to hear what you're doing. I have my whole life in this town, in this neighborhood, in that house. Never seen you anywhere. There's gotta be something going on. Well, you drew out into your pocket and presented the mystery paper to Q, watching your own explanation. But before he said anything about it, Q wheezed with a tight grimace. He looked as stiff as the wood tied behind him just like that. He stammered and babbled and pointed his finger all around the space that was sort of in front of you. But finally came to him. A sorcerer! What? Oh gosh, no wait! Q lifted his hands up higher toward his shoulders in sudden movement, making sure nothing entered his train of thought. You're a thief. That's why you're here, to rob my house. That's why I can steal all your stuff. You're right, man, before I'm a magic, I'm a sorcerer and thief, and a sorcerer or a thief. Makes no sense. Why do you sound so excited about that? You think I'm gonna rob you? Didn't know what to say to that? I should know if I was here to steal your things. Let's see. With me both. Oh, what? You really think I'm a sorcerer robber? All fluttered really with his laugh and then waving his fingers. No, you're just a kid, but you got some good tricks. I mean, I'm a vampire. So maybe. He tucked one of his hands inside his jacket. They were around in there, humming the whole time. There was some kind of secret pocket or compartment in that coat. Aha! He just thought when he moved his hand, he was grabbing onto something. A little notebook. Ledgers are bent and crumbly, probably just from being squished a lot of ways and a lot of times, okay? There were papers sticking out in weird ways that made you think they weren't even attached to the book anymore. They were just mashed between other pages to keep them in place. The thing he noticed the most were the colors, 10 with dark brown lines. It was paper from the airplane. Hugh flipped open the book, tapped in a slow, considering rhythm at the front page with the back of his knuckles, and said what you wanted to know without you having to do anything. That's my special paper with my notes on it. It's not in my notebook, it was in your pocket. You must have done the thing that's sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. That's what you did to snatch my stuff at the blink of an eye while I was standing right here. So a magician or pickpocket, that's all he could be. Sit on his feet. So I guess maybe the other character actually sent us the thingy. But I guess they both had the same paper. Queen was really confident in his accusation against you. Can you show me how you do it? But that wavy motion Q did was too much for the old notebook. It bent in half upwards and downwards in the moment of its owner's arm. So the paper slid out, drifted on the ground lightly, the same way leaves fall from trees. You stared right at them, sitting on the ground free like that. Q didn't. You lost it, Q. You're right, I don't know how that paper disappeared from you. You're being sarcastic. You just dropped the paper and so I picked it up. You both never because I'm magic. She stood there. Boom. Nah, I never lose things. Story of a lot of kids' lives. He did it proudly, still not paying attention to the paper cluttered around his feet. They were pretty much just waiting to blow away in the wind at that point. Their hair was on the ground right now, you know? I think I want to look down. You never lose things. You've already lost more papers. Like he figured it out on his own if you ever did. Like you were you're too shy. You hoped you could never notice what happened to be funny. You hoped you could never notice what happened. It's what he deserved. Let's do this one. Q's one was your reaction. He had a set of Snickers. Chicky Moo drifted away once those were done. He twisted to the side to put a rummage inside the hidden pocket of his jacket. Made sure the notebook made it back to its normal spot. With his face back towards you, he was quiet and thoughtful. It was very mysterious. The paper vanished and a brand new kid appeared in my backyard all out of nowhere. I don't get it. Yeah, I'm your neighbor now. Moved into the middle house on the street. Oh, the new neighbors. That's right. That's you. Exactly. Hello. Makes so much sense. He leaned his weight from one foot over to the other. Somehow his red sneaker bumped against some of the papers. It made him freeze. His eyes widened. He twisted his hours more to fully clearly his view of the grass below, found his spot missing pages. Hope he did figure it out. Stopped talking and dropped to his knees to scoop out the loose papers. Was looking for something to be gathered. Leaned off his knees onto his butt and made a little oof sound. There he'd go to his feet against the ground while pushing up with his hands, clutching the papers so he could stand again. That successful rescue mission done, Q retrieved the notebook from his pocket. Directly flipped through it, inserting loose ends along the way between different pages, going all the way to the end. That's, okay. Oops. Then Q's notebook was pushed shut once more. With that, Q twisted to the side to better rummage inside the hidden pocket of his jacket. Made super sure that the entire sack of papers made it back safely this time. I heard a sigh of relief. An even sweeping move, Q tilted his head back over his shoulder to reveal his face again. The shocked expression before was completely gone. He had that smirk again, though. So did you see that? I don't lose anything. Well, that's great for you. You're a real idiot. You're an idiot, he said jokingly. Caught from embarrassment, broke into laughter. It was cool, you thought. Dang, it was cool. You knowing how to admit to yourself. Thanks. And Q shook his head side to side, flopping dark house strands of hair around and trying to sort out his thoughts. But if you're just my new neighbor, not a thief or sorcerer, how'd you know that was my paper? I didn't know, not for sure. What, you're showing my notes off to everyone you saw in the world? Huh? Ray then let it out and tried to explain the real situation that didn't even make sense to you. I'm not here today with my mom. She's waiting for the real estate agent, so I had to go spend time doing something. Went down to the road and a paper airplane hit me in the shoulder and nobody was there. You nodded along. Oops. Oh well. A log. Yeah, right here. Notice. Oh, shoot. Went down the road and paper airplane hit me on the shoulder. Not along. Well, I'm not getting everything you're talking about, but curious enough to keep listening. I've been looking for whoever did it since. When I met you, I had to check if you were the one who did it. Over the steps that led you to this point as best as she could, Q joined in with the conclusion. It wasn't me who made any paper airplane. But the page and things on it are mine. He put his hands on the heads as he thought hard about the info he learned from you. That means someone else somehow got a piece of paper from my notebook and used that to make the plane they checked at you for some crazy reason? I guess so, but if you are the one who wrote that, how did you know my name that was on the note, and what were those other words supposed to mean? Hello, go out, hide out, sapphire nightmare? It doesn't make sense. Oh. He cracked a smile and flicked out his arm to start his own explanation. That's just stuff I was gonna do. Counting 1, 2, 3 on his fingers, he listed off each part of the lumber symbol simply. Hello, say hi to the people around, go out, visit the town or another neighborhood or whatever. Hideout means go to my hideout. He saw the countdown to pat the sturdy wooden wall behind him with pride. Right here. I get it now. Wow, I like your hideout. That's all stupid, he said sharply. Is it amused? Your hideout in your backyard? It's a hideout. Why would you tell me it's a hideout? You didn't speak. I like his hideout, though. I do too. Alright, yeah, for your name being there, my mom and dad told me. Talked about how people were moving in the next door and how they're gonna be a kid my age. Her name was Sapphire Nightmare. Yes. I guess the other girl, the girl between the two of them, I guess she was the one who actually made into airplane. Looked cool to me, so I wrote it down that way I won't forget. I even took out and read the page a lot to make sure it'd be something I remembered. Looks like I forgot after all. It's okay then, thanks for trying to remember. My wife said compliment everything wrong, I put off. You're such a scatterbrain. Can't believe you forgot what we were at about. Looks at his answer. Okay, guess so. I remember this time, definitely. I'm gonna stick with you now. Because my paper is still out there and you were their target. Maybe you're not a sorcerer thief, but what if the paper airplane person is? We'll figure it all out and you won't have to worry about anything. Super, do we have a plan? Sit up, talk, sitting your now partner on the ship and laid out the next part. Yeah, I know which way we should go now. You have to go back to the spot in the forest with 2 dirt paths. I know that place, it's right nearby, let's do this. And so you started to walk along the autumn tree line now with your new partner in the adventure. You came along you with bold certain steps, you're going to find the paper airplane person. Soon you reached the head of the path. You're at the crossroad once more, but you brought back knowledge and this new boy with you. So that's the one we were on. You used one half outstretched to point the forest walking path, though you realized he probably didn't need you to do that. You bashfully took your hand around your back instead, and while tilting in place, you tried to keep going on like nothing happened. And down there is the only road. I haven't looked at that other way on that side. Now he tried pointing again, making his gaze a second dirt imprint at this forked passage. So if his head cute gradient, that makes sense to me. Action easily made, Yara and his cringing footsteps started up again in unison. And still your quest continued. Once you went through the forest pit, I guess, depending on whichever one you met first is whichever or whichever path you chose to be picked in the beginning is whichever one you met first. So yeah. I guess the other one would be accompanying us. Once you went through the first steep path, you had surely entered the wild woods. Nothing else surrounded you any longer. Nature spread across the land with a narrow dirt line and fence being the only sign anyone has walked in this spot before you. People were only visitors here. Golden and red leaves gently rustled against each other in thick clumps, with each tree's branches flowing into others nearby. It was enough to keep the sky and sun out almost completely, but the leaves burned bright with the light basking over them from above. The foot-made passage continued to twist around up higher to the mountainside, farther than you could see. You were amazed. It was sort of nice. It was dirty and icky. It's the kind of place Crusoe was picked. It was so boring. You're coming here in the forest was frightening. Is this? I actually do like walking, so with a wide wonder skate thrown every which way, you let yourself flow deeper into the thicket. He washed your face. Your good mood was enough to rub off from him. You hang out in the neighborhood or the other parts of town most of the time, but woods can be cool too. Really? Why don't you visit more often? It's right by your house. I lived here forever. Every day of my whole life. Celeste's always going to be with people in the neighborhood and in town. The forest is the same whenever you come back. Trees, bushes, some birds. Kind of weird when you think about it. Besides, the plants looking different when the seasons change. It's like time doesn't exist here. Ashiku lifted up his hands from his sides, only to gesture them downwards to the forest floor. Okay. And hey, you know, this path they're walking on has always been here, even before I was born. He showed along, kicking a little piece of rock on the road and looking straight ahead. Probably been around for as long as this place has been Golden Grove, or longer. For a second he was thinking so hard that the smile he almost always had went away. Then something made him chuckle as he pointed over to the side. That fence is kinda new. I remember there just being the dirt when I was little. It's the only thing that's ever gotten different out here. Wow. The quiet bubble that existed here in the forest, away from the town, popped from a sudden unnatural clatter. He stopped. With a whooshing, thumping, and stirring up the leaves like something had crashed into them. You and Q should have looked, both checking that the other heard it too. That wasn't me. And that wasn't you either. Yeah. No, for sure that wasn't the wind. Bumping to animal, over from right over there, that little Q, his voice shrunk into an eager whisper. It would be them. The mystery paper airplane sender. Let's go before they get away. So I guess, if you picked this route first, maybe the mystery is that you're trying to find out who owns the notebook paper, I guess. Take just a peek. And source of the sound. guess. Let's just take a peek. Crash lower and snuck off the path. It was harder to keep your footing on the slanted, untrimmed ground. Reach a really cluttered tree spot. You grasped at the branches, push them aside in order to poke your head through. Move them the same way you'd open a set of curtains, but it was a lot harder to do. Tiny's branches couldn't take the bend. They snapped from your pressure. You could feel the splintery ends of the plant scratch a little at your facing close. Ouch. It wasn't as secretive of a check as you'd hoped it would be. One side of that tree line was still the woods, but kind of an empty part. There's a lot of open ground with no trees or bushes growing and a ton of leaves that were gathered into piles. Past that clearing, the trees were back and even more closely pressed together than they were by the path. It was mysterious. There was nowhere easy to go and nothing seemed out of place to you until... Cute! Hello! To be honest, kids playing in the leaves is cute, to be honest. I like all the videos of them like jumping into the leaves to make the mess of everything. Especially when they ruin the leaf piles that their parents mistakenly gathered. I don't know, I think it's funny and cute. There's a shout, a new whirlwind of leaves rushing through the air. Right under one of the piles was another kid. What was this person? That's all you could thought. You look away from their eyes, they were really red. Sparkly hair, you noticed. Like the scarf they had on. There were leaves stuck in their hair and clothes. They didn't hold the leaning forward position any longer and stepped forward completely into the open area. Stared at them, and they looked right back at you as everything they'd thrown into the air gently drifted back down. Hi. Were you here this whole time? You scared me. Do you live out here? You're crazy. I didn't know we were here. Were you waiting for us? Awesome. I knew what to do. Made you laugh. Awesome, I guess. As a kid, people like this stuff, I guess. They got the stranger giggling. He folded his arms across his chest. He blinked slowly and thoughtfully. She had plenty to say, but in that moment he was left as stumped as one of the actual stumps in the forest. Wait here. Jumping Jack Kid hopped again. This time it was to get up off the ground. They dashed to the opposite edge of the open space, leaves scattering behind them, jumping out of their clothes. Whoa, oops. Being kicked up by their steps. Okay. You're already wondering what was going to happen next. Watching them go, Q finally found some words. It's another person I've never seen before today. Oh, so did she also move? He twisted around so the top of him was angled more towards you. He brought one of his hands to the side of his mouth, the other close to his chest, pointing something in the direction of the stranger one. Safi, do you know this leaf kid? Nope. Q, the only person I've met here. Not even this time, not even you. Your head strongly, so we stare back at him. Yeah, true. His arm fell back down like lip noodles. Never took his eyes off the other person. He was definitely curious. From behind one of the tall crooked trees, the kid began throwing sticks and other plant pieces around, and uncovering a hidden treasure, a big brown bag. They had to use both hands to lift the pouch and get over their head. The thick strap pulled tight under the strain of the weight attached to it, the line of their mouth looking just as strained. The stranger huffed when they released the bag from their fingers, letting it rest completely across their shoulder. You heard stuff bumping around inside her position. Way over here, it was a really full pack. But didn't slow that kid down. They ran back at full speed to meet you where you were. When they were in front of your face, they gave you a wave and asked a question. Hi, are you girls too? She gestured to the front of him casually. Oh boy, Mr. Qlin, Q-I-U-N-L-I-N. Wow, okay. Thank you. You're so cute, adorable. The kid turned their attention to you. Are you a girl? Yep. You nodded. She sang her own praises in a charming tone. Both girls, both girls. And all of a sudden, Leafy Girl remembered to introduce herself the way most people do. I'm Tamarack. Okay, so that's her name, Tamarack and Q. Alright, that sounds nice. Really nice. Tamarack is a weird name. Cool. Tamarack, what does it even mean? Wait, is that a normal word and not a name? I nodded. Let's ask what it means. Tamarack is a kind of tree. I like it a lot. Okay, nice to know. Q grinned widely at her in this enthusiastic introduction. It fits you. What's your last name? Balmon. Tamarack Balmon. Okay. Cool, Miss Tamarack Balmon. You know my name means autumn. That's amazing. It's a match too. How do people know how to do that? Oh, so they're both autumn themed. Oh, I mean, this is general autumn themed, but I think we're just lucky. Lots of kids don't have the right ones. Yeah. So what's your name? You now knew as Tamarack, sent the question your way. He already gave his answer. Wow. Hi, Sapphire. She greeted you with her fingers spread away from her hand, and as sweetly as if you'd always known each other and she'd done it 100 times. You think yours fits to your name? Yes. I chose it myself. Everyone always calls me Safi. Alright. My headband is nice. Yay! Very formally, and shyly. Bum bum bum. I like her hair too, I guess. Thanks. Nice to meet you, Tamarack. Maybe. Her sister sprinkle her away as he made another point with the words. There's only one house for sale anywhere near this neighborhood. Safi lives there now. Where did you come from? Unless you're Safi's mom. I was completely tickled by the idea. Covering her mouth with her hands, she didn't do a good job at stopping any of the laughter from getting out. No, I'm not a mom. I moved here with my Omi and Oppa. Who are they? Are those your parents' names? And the grandparents? Omi and Oppa is grandparent. Grandma, I know what you're saying. But who are they? Means Granny and Grandpa. What's that? Is that another language? German. Okay, I was like, I just wanted to know what language it was. German and they're German. Cool. The granny who lives there and a guy that's her husband. Is your Omi and Oppa? I think so, probably. Omi has really long hair, Oppa has short hair, and some of it is on his face. Yeah. He bowed his head up and down with great understanding. Granny and him have a kid now. Well, wow. That's right, that's nice. Let's see. I know what it's like to not live with my mom. Are your parents dead? So rude. I should live with them. Why about your parents? You didn't say anything about that. But that's nice. Yeah. I've been here 5 days and it's really good. Okay, so both of you and Tarek are technically new. That's interesting. There's so much out here. It probably won't be finished for a long, long time. Months, maybe. Oh, Q's voice shot up. He was shocked and confused. 5 days? That's almost a week, and I've never seen you. What have you been this whole time? I said so before. I've been here. Tamarack used one. I hope she doesn't get lost or anything. One foot to push it, but use one foot to push against the ground and the other to stay upright and spin around in place once. Okay. I play in the forest every day. When he answered, he went normal volume again but kept frowning. Aw, well, you could come with me and my friends if you wanted to. We can hang out in the neighborhood and in town, in the backyard and stuff. If you see us, just walk over and join. Don't have to worry. They'll like you, and you can talk to me if you don't know what to do. She only shrugged, and the bullet shoulder without the back strap went up higher. Maybe. There wasn't a lot of interest for Q's offer. When I grinned again, he watched Tarek with a tilted head. You're like your Oppa, huh? No one ever really sees him around either. He's lived here for a million years. Tarek squished her cheeks between her fingers, delighted. I like his office a whole lot. It's my very first day in Golden Grove. Wow, that's a bit different at all. We're a match. For her extra short eyebrows as much as she could as a new idea came up to her. Hey. We're both girls and he's not. Are any of us the same age? I'm 10. We're all 10. So are we. Hooray, same age forever. Halfway Tamara curled out the orange strip of her big bag and bounced up and down in place. We decided this was the perfect time to talk to her about everything that had happened. It might have been Q's, but it's possible she was the one who sent it to you. And we should save. We have not saved in a really long time. Save here. Save over the first one later. It might have been Q's, but it's possible she was the one who sent it to you. Did you prepare point at me? Did you know blah? The truth, are you prepared for something? Do you know what this is? Here. Oh yeah, you got it? I did. Woo! She took her arms up around her side in separation, knocking her back to the side. Without noise when I slammed back against her. Yeah, so I guess we met her first. We have first to find out who owns the paper in the first place, or the tag with the words, "My name is good." Looking at her in disbelief, you've truly done it. From the mercy person who owned the paper in the first place, and the person who actually sent it to you as a paper airplane. During you thought your eyes exhaustively, she was glad to make you nervous. Ooh, the trouble she set off. You smiled to yourself shyly. She was so cute that you thought, how do you feel about that? I don't want to argue like build a romantic relationship with them right now. Instead, I kind of just want to get to know them more. What is this? I'm not the only one who had a reaction to the results. Alright, nice, Safi. Hard eyes and cute cheers had Tamarack excitedly looked between you and him, not knowing what the celebration was about but wanting to join. Thanks for sending it. That plane was really cool. Why would you do that? Yeah, the theater was perfect. Voice expression. Thanks. And yay for the trash doing something nice. Trash? I pulled his hands up to his face and pressed his fingertips into his cheeks with great drama. Because trash to you is still important to me. It's still important to him. I'm not still trash. You got that right. It's garbage, you joked. Right, it's garbage, you stated. You snickered. You glared at her. Think about never losing things to you. I told you to lose stuff. I told you to lose stuff. See. Bum 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 bum. This. So that's the little. What did you say about losing things? I think her brows shifted his hands more to the side so he could instead tuck at the front of his hair, pulling them out fully straight. I don't know how it's possible. Would have made maybe be a sorcerer, a thief, would you, Tamarack? No. Too bad. About how he was so funny. Your eyes at the ridiculousness. You sighed. You smiled widely. About how he was so adorable. You felt tired. You just ignored it. Tamara had it in her to laugh over the situation, but he could only stand there and shake her head. Cube finished his pout, straightened up, and put his hands still on his hips. He was back to being in control. You know, there's nobody out here who's perfect. Ain't that the truth? I accept my mistake, and I'm sorry to you for messing up the place. That's really nice of you to say, Q. Thanks. I think he forgives you. Cool. Watching the two kids interacting, you start thinking about this more and more, going over the whole experience in your head. You turn around. Your training thoughts were put on pause and Tarek suddenly changed the subject. What are you two gonna do now? I gotta go back. My mom was waiting for me. Now I'll walk Safi there. Gotta make sure he doesn't get lost out there here. I should probably see how my open up bar too. They're pretty old and need help sometimes. She took a big hop closer to you and Q. A smile grin across her face as she landed. We'll go back together. Yeah. Or we can. I was gonna ask it. Well, sorry. Okay, sure. Myself. Oh, dude, you're gonna get lost. I don't want people coming. Me and Q are going together, but you're not in agreement. You know, next to your stance, I said this was really over now. Woohoo! Facts over here, Q. Pop up. Henrik snatched up a nearby stick off the ground and directed the pointy end forward the way you had come from. Your houses. I took on Q his fist to enthusiastically punch the air. Homeward bound. It's really nice. We're going back to successful people. Alright. Two were lost. Now you can greet me and you watched the two in a shy silence. Let's do this. And so you watched start to walk through the brown fall bush to get to the neighborhood again. You were going to be alone there. Frank bound on an old head, yelling her up and down with a stick like she was conductor of a marching band. While Q came alongside you with even casual steps, you returned to that house. Hey, Yahoo! Oh, die, Yahoo indeed. Your neighborhood had become even more orange toned by the time you finally returned to it. Isn't the autumn tones pretty? A far off sun slowly sank away behind the tallest mountains and forests to sleep for the night. Yeah, that step was short. I'm not quite too sure how much longer it'll be, but yeah. Shadows grew larger. You wait for your body to reach out into the streets ahead. Oh yeah, this visual novel and the previous one is free. It's going to be free in terms of the main game. It's like fully free if you want to check it out. Oh no, I'm sorry I'm late. I just came home my day tired as usual. Don't worry about it. We're all tired after work, aren't we? Well, this is a comfy game, so hopefully you have comfy feels too. The dark shapes morphed and combined with one another as you walked into your own mismatched rhythm, all while the eyeball chillingness of the outside world got more powerful bit by bit. Turmeric still stayed about 2 steps ahead, sometimes she was closer and sometimes she got away from you again. She used her stick to knock at the bushes and laps along the sidewalk. He was next to you, but you had switched things up so that he was taking large skips backwards. Guess it was to look at you in the face better. Or he just thought it was fun. Went out the sharpest building on the street as he went. It looked almost like a tower, a different kind than the one in the backyard. See, that's a house in the front. It's great. And that's your house, right? The one in the middle. And Granny owns that even further away one. Cool. The sound of your steps continued to echo through the cul-de-sac until you came to a stop right in the center of the path you arrived. Okay, this is it. He pulled out an eager grin. We gotta meet up again later. See you, Safi and Tamarack. Q flipped around to go back the same way he had come with you. He returned to the pointy red house with a huge backyard. He didn't drop any papers this time. Bye, goodbye. Tamarack put both her hands up in front of her chest and waved them around. You're going home too. On the bum. Tamarack went in place before dashing further along the sidewalk to the sloped gray house on the other end of the road. Okay, so now I know who owns which house. And our house is right in the middle. Rat clunked and jingled at her side the whole way there. We waited there in front of the house in the dimming evening light, watching the 2 other kids go to their home right on the same street. I read the title at the thumbnail. I read it. Not our life. What's wrong with my mind, lol? You're probably tired. And it's also acorns on the cover, so I guess that's a reason why. Since it's autumn themed. Also, the interesting thing about this visual novel is that it doesn't have to be a romance. You don't have to play as a romance, actually. You can just play it as yourself and your 2 friends. Or, that's why Safi. Exactly. Yeah, the interesting thing about this visual novel is that you don't even have to romantically get together with either of the 2 characters. You can just be your best friends forever. You can actually make it so that you actually don't get along with the two of them and you guys fight often. And then you can, or you can choose either one to get together with. Yeah. Also, your personality is also heavily impacted by the choices you make too. Like if you're making shy choices, you will be a shy person. If you keep making confident choices, you'll be more confident. Yep, in their actual dialogue. Isn't that neat? On the way back, thank you for coming with me. Nice to meet you too. Let's do this one. That was everything. The whole outing was done. Quiet resolution of your first day in this place. The two encounters you had early in the afternoon drifted through your head. You and Tamarack. There's a stage where you get to set your dynamic with Tamarack and Q. The process where you're constructing the personalized relationship you've had with your two neighbors you grew up with. It's called dynamics. I put Acorn right at the front from I not become shape of background. Ain't that the truth? This encompasses how your character and actor feel about one another and how they generally interact with each other. You'll determine if your character is shy, confident, or sociable or unsociable. That's done through the phrasing actions you pick and normal choices. It's only saying how you and the two leads tend to think and approach things on top line level. Okay? The setting can be the same for both Tamarack and Q or be entirely different from one over the other. First part of the dynamic system is what you set for your standing. You balance always be true with the character. But to change your standing at the start of each step and even at certain points within a step, at least normally. There are some settings that can be changed once you pick them. I make obvious changes in our neighborhood, friends, family, Christian, beloved. Okay, neighbors means that there's someone you know. It's nothing more meaningful than that. Typical or completely cold or even hostile to you. It does mean that you're friends. While understanding it's possible to go even deeper and have them be your very best friend. It does not set on the dynamic screen as a normal choice. Family means that you truly love them and will always keep them in your life in a fully platonic way. And choose to love someone this deeply until later steps once you've known them longer. Interesting, for instance. You also won't be able to change the setting to anything else once you picked it. It's completely certain and unwavering. You can bring both Tamarack and Q into proverbial family, which just mean that you and both have crushes on each other. While on this standing, you can keep your feelings a secret and act as though you're only best friends, or it can be known that you're romantically interested. In the game, you can also officially go steady with Tamarack or Q. If you can dating one of them, you're standing in the exchange to your partners instead of crushes. Also be crushing on Tamarack and Q at the same time. You can only get into an actual romantic situation with one. And your artwork while listening to your voice, your voice is addictive. Thank you! In today's visual novel style day, so a lot of talking. When crushing on both and get into a relationship, you automatically go being friends with the character you're not dating. You'll be able to keep a romantic interest in them, okay? If you date one, you can't break up with them. Partner status can't go away once you get it. It's possible to change something like crushes to one of the other options if you want to. Beloved means you truly love them and will always keep them in your life and clear them to away. Blocked. You can't choose to love someone this deeply until later steps once you've known them longer. Yep, I see. You also won't be able to change the setting to anything else once you pick it. It's completely certain and wavering. Okay. Like crushes, romantic feeling can be known as secret or you can be official partners. For the setting, you'll be able the possibility to engage and change your shared status to fiancés. There's no requirement to getting married or even dates. You do or don't do with your feelings of love is up to you. That leads to your set boundaries. If you're beloved or makes choices when you're hoping to get married, then ask yourself your partner can be the one to propose instead. The MC will accept the proposal by default because the game believes they want one. You convince your partner to think marriage is a good idea and reject the one they pursue. Only choose the loves from one of them. They can cue each other on romantic scenes that aren't set together. At least that's a current situation. If the time budget allows, we may be able to add a new set of being in love with dating both of them. I guarantee that we can do it, but that's something we have in mind. Part 1 of dynamics is the second part of expression elements. They near the connection with each other. Okay? Like relationship standing, expressions elements are done separately for Tamarack and Q. It doesn't have to be the same for both. Well, okay. For that to 3 meters, okay. Firing, teamwork, contesting, freezing, and swimming, teasing, doting, admiring. To the follower or goes with the flow. Okay. Year 2, it turns to the character is the type of person to go out of their way, comment on the person and what they do. If not, they're unassuming. So the comments can be commentary, even flirty. Blah blah, you get controllable. Year 3 can be set to determine how your character views Tamarack and Q. You feel like they need to look out for them, or that they are on the same level as each other, or is more incredible than most. When you first met Tamarack in the story, they go with their normal kind of behavior from the interaction to their character. The expression numbers are always in the same in step 1. Teamworking, teasing, and doting, okay? Contesting, praising, accepting. Spend more time with Tamarack and Q. You get to know your character better, and each of the steps, the expression elements can change to match that. For example, your friend with Tamarack and expresses displeasure whenever she insists on getting her way, she'll notice that. Step 2, instead of testing, she could be teamworking with your character, Even differing depending on details, their connection with your character will develop organically. Okay. On future steps, you also have the option to go customizing the expression elements, so you want to make sure your pixel has a specific feel. Okay. And for more than just neighbors or fully functional media unlocks. Jealous of, not jealous, jealous over. As you get to create the emphasis of their life better. So it means that they feel discomfort, they think the person seems to like someone else more, or the willingness to time with them as normal. Media does nothing but let you add more negative feelings or relationship competition or drama to your life. It will always be not jealous, so skips all that. Okay, interesting. It's in combos. Crushing step 3 will be different if you used to be friends and if you're crushing from the start and so on. You have plenty of to try out. Okay, let's try. You know how deferring, I guess, since I'm kind of a doormat in terms of group work and stuff. I'll just do this. Just do dish, I guess. Yeah, I can't change any of it because that's. Yeah, we can do this. Let's do crushes for both, I guess. Bum bum bum. Dum 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 dum. We should do team working, I guess. Because she's contesting, so do deferring. I think that's a bit to an extreme. Let's just do this for both of them. Oop. Those are different from you that morning when you left and went to drive home. Before then, you'd never been in Golden Grove. You'd seen only in pictures and hadn't known anybody who was a local there. But there you were, a person who lived in the town and was friends with the neighbors on both sides of your house who also lived there. Were you friends? You thought so. Even though they weren't here anymore, a bunch of other things had happened that day. Two of them were the only things on your mind. Yeah, I think I'll play as a romance VN when it eventually comes out. I don't know who we'll get together with though. What it was like when you first saw them, when you started to talk to and learn about them, all the stuff with a note in the paper airplane, it was special. Perhaps like getting even colder, but you were so warm on the inside. It was nice but also scary, you didn't know what to do with yourself. You couldn't help wondering when you'd get to see them again. Sapphire, is that you? Your mom called from the fence. Coming! You bounded forward and passed through the gates. Mom had left the porch and was there to meet you. How are you? Did you find anything exciting out there? It was great. Could have been worse. I don't know. You never could believe what happened. Everything was amazing. You didn't say anything about it. Wish I didn't go. The people, Mom, he's my age. My girl I'm gonna marry. My boy I'm gonna marry. My 2 people I could marry. We're getting really ahead of ourselves, aren't we, over there? Do this. And from the mystery of who sent the mystery paper. I bet, but I look forward to hearing about it. From strength to strength, we've got the key to the house. The agent finally arrived about 20 minutes ago. They're gone now, but I haven't peeked yet. Both of us should be here for this. It's your house too. Yeah, this is our house now. Slowly. Come on. Cute. Mom turned to go and slipped the key out of her sweater pocket. She gestured with the other hand for you to follow. Your mom led the way as you went back up the stairs. The key fit perfectly into the hole in the door, and Mama smelled at the sound of an unlocking click. Carefully, she leaned forward with her shoulder, giving it a nudge. Unsure the best option for the ancient door was extra force, extra restraint. Ancient door, ouch. That opened with a creak. Air came out through the front like it was exhaling. Mom let out a breath at the same time. Everything's okay, dear. You can get a little closer. You can see it inside here. You scooched towards your mom's side into the door frame. It was then you noticed there was a mat at the front. It had light color and had kind of hard but fluffy texture. Sort of mat that get dirty looking right away when it was used, but it was still clean and nice. Uh-oh. It hadn't been worn down at all like the rest of the building. This part of the house wasn't just an old thing left behind by other people, who didn't need it or want it anymore. Someone must have put it there for this happening, for you, Mom, and you moving in. This is the previous owners. Oh, whoops. Oh, I guess we should save, I guess. Let's do this one. Right across the top it said, okay. Welcome home. Yay! Mom softly tapped the top of your shoulder, bringing you back to the moment. She clicked my hand there, leading you ahead with her. Lifted your head to give a glance back towards the neighborhood. It was empty. Couldn't get away from what was happening. Two of you walked through the door. Everything in the air was still. The wind was blocked, but it was practically as cold inside as it was outside that house. Ouch. It's cold here too in real life. Ain't that the truth? Mom shifted forward cautiously, Feeling around for a light switch. Got it. A dim light from the ceiling sparked on in an instant, and there in front of you was an old-fashioned living room. The house had furniture that came along with it, but it wasn't a set. Pieces were mismatched, each chair, table, and bookshelf in a different color. Interesting. They covered in transparent sheets of plastic and in dust. Ew. The room had a real fireplace made out of brick. At the back, you could see a staircase going up to another floor. Beautiful. Even better than the photos. So much potential inside these walls. You're amazed, like if in a storybook. You are so disappointed it blew your old friend out of the water. It's the worst house in the world. Jeez, that little me. It could have worked once you had your stuff out. When I was a kid, the house was definitely haunted. Well, it's better than an apartment, though. Mom was right. You had thought it'd be good, but it was somehow more than that. Your mom touched the tip of her fingers to the muted blue paint next to her. I'll have to clean as much as we can and make it livable before bed. It'll be a long night. We can unpack more of our things tomorrow. Well, I'll be doing much of that on my own. You're gonna be busy. Mom increased the pitch of her voice, squinting her eyes sweetly. After all, it's the first day of grade. What, tomorrow's school day? No! Oh, your grandma was throwing your head back. Hope she'd forgotten. Threw your hands up in the air for excitement. You covered her face, getting nervous just thinking about it. You're to even think about having to go to school. Lost in thought, imagine what it'd be like. Annoyingly, I sprang up securely. I did this one. You groaned, dramatically. Let it bright gently while watching you. You got here just in time, clearly. Good morning. Good morning! Today we're playing a visual novel. It's actually completely free if you look it up on itch.io. They have another game that's also completely free as well. The extra stuff is DLC. Her eyes drifted closed, and there was a crease in her brows. She was further away without having gone anywhere. Even if I'm here early for the job, I was not going to make you be a full week late to class. Being new to a town like this is already going to make you a point of attention. I couldn't tell if she thought that was a good thing or a bad thing by her tone, but Mom didn't say anything more than that. So her circle scarf over her head, careful to not have it catch on her earrings, left it on top of her suitcase. Let's take it. I'm kidding. So want to see the upstairs? Yeah. Second floor was more of the same. Lonely sealed away rooms. Dang, this house is big. It even has a second floor. Lonely sealed away rooms with furniture nobody has been using for ages that were covered by plastic sheets and lots of dust. You could see the footprints your mom left behind in the grime as she walked the walls with wide-amazed eyes. Ew, it's so dusty. After checking the state of the whole house, Mom made a decision to leave the furniture in its protection. Yeah, you should. Until after the sleeping was finished. There are too many dust bunnies. It might jump over to take a seat on your couch if a spot was available. I hope I can remember where I put the dustpan. The room itself shouldn't be hard to find, wherever it is. Returned to the living room after Mom got her trusty pair of crafting scissors out of her suitcase. She put her scarf inside it when taking the scissors out. Mom then went through some of the taped up boxes like it was her birthday, and each one was a shiny unopened present with a ribbon on top. Her gift was just stuff she already owned. One by one, she took out the supplies that had been brought for this very moment, sitting them around her legs on the floor whenever there was space, and she divided them out into separate piles. A pair of yellow gloves, a fluffy fresh duster, a bottle of cleaning spray, and a full row of paper towels. Mom had a set of her own. I skipped that by accident. The other was for you. You were going to need them. Ain't that the truth? There's only one broom and dustpan that she did successfully find. You were going to take turns using that. The first move in the make the house a place people can actually live in. Was yanking open the streaky windows to get some airflow going. Yep. Get the dust out. Though before even that, you had to get the locks out of the windows themselves come loose. Dug your fingers in between the base of the window frame and the latch, pressed against it, forcing it against its will. The lock clicked into place on the opposite side. You shoved the window up with both hands. Your clothes were already patchy with filth. Ew! The icy crisp breeze that flowed in from the outside was a lot more welcome at the point. You got a good look at the neighborhood while catching your breath. Streetlights had come on, but you then left the window, but to do its job and got back to yours. Two of you went back and forth, up and down, around the house to open up everything that you could. Some windows were were jammed in place so tight you had to leave it alone for your mom to get it later. I mean, we are a kid. Next on the list was to somehow scrub down all the floors, walls, counters, and every other inch of space where dust could settle, which was every inch of the entire house. You picked a spot and gave it a sweep with the fuzzy head of the duster. A nice line of clear wood followed behind your motion. That pattern continued for a while, Part of the desolator was gone from a spot. You go back over again with a cleaning spray to really make it shine. Her mom was able to track down and turn on the heater. Not that she could tell. Oops. A difference with all the windows wide open. Yep. Eventually, you had a short dinner break with your mom, standing around in the kitchen together, with two of you as dusty as the rest of the house. It was packed meals from the car. Simple sandwiches, fruits with thick peels that wouldn't get smashed on the drive, little bags of granola and pretzels, and juice boxes. There was no groceries. The rickety fridge was off and totally empty when you checked. Except there's nothing gross in there. That's true. You had prepared for the worst for such an old, practically abandoned house, but there wasn't a single pot of nasty ketchup or box of unknown leftovers or anything. The trash from your food was dumped into the same giant black garbage bag that you've been throwing piles of gray stained paper towels and wads of squished together tape in for the whole night. Yep. Somehow the bag was getting full. Even though it was big enough to fit your whole body, it was a mark of how much work you'd really done. True. Very true. When I moved when I was younger, I did the exact same thing. Not just the house made you think you hadn't even gotten started. The only way to change that was to keep going, as your mom talked about, encouraging herself to clean again after dinner. You and your mom polished up the house as best as you could for even more hours. But when your usual bedtime arrived, Mom put the duster and the scissors down. She wasn't going to have you stay up late, no matter how excited she was to unpack. She got you to the first floor bathroom. The one on the second floor was too dirty to use, looking her overnight bag off the counter along the way. So this is why if you have two-story houses, it's like a pain to clean it. Your mom explained how she'd do a round throughout the house, close the windows, keep busy until the bathroom was free, and left you to get ready to sleep. In the bag was little baby-sized versions of normal toothpaste, and mouthwash containers and simple soup brushes. All you had for pajamas that night was a green long-sleeve shirt with matching pants. I wish it was blue. Not clean as you possibly could with only sink to use. You could wash and you were pretty lazy about it. Ew, why would I be lazy? If it was as fast as possible, you've been to be busy for a little while now. This is the correct choice. You don't want to be sick. I think a grimy feeling of your skin wasn't easy and took way longer than usual, but was crucial. You headed off bed for bed. You changed into PJs and let your mom have her turn while she was away. You dressed the animal from your pet bag, action figure, for doll, blanket. Plushie was the thing you could sleep without. Your furniture was still a place of grub, so you crouched down and sat on the rug. I know this is a bit childish of me, but I still sleep with plushies on my bed. And to this day, I hug them when I go to sleep. Her furniture was still plastic wrapped, so you crouched down and sat on the rug. Mom returned in only a couple of minutes, wearing her purple pajamas, and why didn't I get the purple pajamas? She also had sleeping bags packed under each of her arms. She took one foot to hold against the front of her chest, and dropped the other onto the floor along with a puff. That'll be mine, Mom noted while trying to untie the band that kept the sleeping bag together in a roll. She pulled and pinched at the knot. When it didn't budge, she lifted the bundle to her face and her teeth to pry the threaded bands apart from each other. She got it loose and vigorously cupped the flannel bag all the way open, so it down in a clear spot on the wooden floor. There you are, Sapphire, all ready. Okay. Use your feet and rocked back and forth to move yourself across the antique rug, scooting toward the sleeping bag without getting off the ground. Mom tried casually whispering at her own bag nearby. We'll need to get some wood so we can actually use the fireplace on nights like this. Yes, exactly. Did your mom know how to use a fireplace? You've never seen one in person until now, and so far you've still never seen one that had a fire in it. Yeah. I guess a word before you use a chimney. Make sure it's clean before you clean inside, and not obstructed before you use one. I do know people own fireplaces, so luckily the house was warm and cozy, even without that, since the window stopped letting the chill in. The heater worked. That was sort of a surprise to you. Mom soon settled down on the center of her temporary bed. She sat cross-legged with her back solidly straight. Her hands came to rest on the top of her knees, and she began eye contact with you. I feel like this is going to end soon. A demo, I mean. Thank you for the help with the house today. I'll be home before we know it at this rate. I worked really hard to wash your arms. I'm so tired, you said while walking down your welcome. A house and a home are the same thing. So make you roll your eyes, stretch your arms out, and have a double done. You feel that tired half. Toss her shoulders, easy away from the sickness. Guess what I did in the neighborhood today? Mom could tell what happened today? Just how your day was. Anything interesting happen? You're asking me. The thing is, you might feel it mercilessly. Pausing just a little bit to build a suspense, you began to narrate the entire story of the Hero Airplane adventure. The moment it hit, to the way it led down Udon Forest, meeting Q on his tower with his notebook full of loose pages, then finding Tamarick in her leaf pile and all her surprises. Mom listened with her whole self, leaning forward and grinning wider with each new turn you revealed. You wrapped it up by explaining how you returned to the neighborhood with Q and Tamarack after everything you discovered. What a way to spend an afternoon. I'm proud of you, Sapphire. You faced your fears amazingly. No idea you got into such a winding journey. First makes your face get hot. You plucked at the tiny yarn strands, the rope to distract yourself. It was a fun story to tell. Some of the events of the day felt like they were a long time ago, but they happened to someone else and you just heard about it. It had been real. The paper airplane hit your shoulder, held that note in your hands, and you threw that paper away when you were cleaning. You didn't have any hidden of paper, and you were saving that paper to give back to Q, give back to Camerack. Let's just say it was a keepsake. I had nightmares memories that went with it. All done, Mom slowly spoke up to share her own thoughts with you. It's odd, imagining this entire building collecting dust for all this time, isn't it? No one wants to live here. Maybe because it's haunted? Just kidding. Not renters, not the man who owned it. It's a charming house. Yeah, it is. How do we get to have something like this? Mom had her lips together in consideration, then she got talking. There are a lot of opportunities out in these woods, I suppose. At my company, retiring of the former HR manager was the first big position I've ever heard of for this area. Even that didn't open up for people already living in the town. I was asked to relocate to take the position. Creases grew around her eyes the more she thought about it. She caught herself before a frown could follow. Oh, but it's not an issue. I'm grateful. I'll find her a place in the slow pace of Golden Grove. At least we'll have each other regardless. Yep, you and me are a team. I think we have each other to talk about. We'll always be together. You know what is strong like me, Mom. You yawn. This one. Thank you, Sapphire. Then your mom stretched her legs out fully across her sitting bag, wiggling her toes into the black socks she had on. Seeing Mom right there on the floor with you was cool. You didn't hang out together during bedtime like this. Most nights it was special. Okay. As you thought about that, your eyes widened. As you thought about that, your eyelids were trying to tape themselves up with the sticky, gritty stuff your eyes made when it was extra late. Ain't that the truth? Alright, dear, you should get to. You should get into the sleeping bag now before you blink out on top of it. Okay. That sounds like a pretty good idea. You stood animal into both your arms. Yes. You shoved it into the open end of the bag. It was made out of fabric that was so smooth it wasn't difficult to do. You folded down until the edge was to your chin. You wrapped it up like a loaf of bread in a grocery bag. Cute. Mom got to her feet, taking a short jog over to the far wall of the room. Slipped a finger to the light switch, but kept her gaze down on you. The expression from Trace was gentle. Good night, Sapphire. Good night, Mom. Night. Sweet dreams. Night. I went pitch back with a click. It's kind of hilarious that, there's a lot of toys where we can just be absolutely mean. When you to adjust, you heard the shuffling sounds of Mom. She joined you on the floor again. As soon as Mom didn't talk anymore. There weren't the sound of cars passing outside, there was a thumping in your ears, and you thought you might have heard a creak somewhere. The night noises were a lot different than what you had experienced with. They were so quiet and distant. Did you notice them more if they were clearer, okay? You had to get to know the sound better. It's another part of the house's personality. You're okay with that. It was normal to need time to get familiar with each other. Press your eyes shut, and your head was thoughts of going to a noontime Mom, Q, Tamarack, the first day of school. Tossed and turned for hours, trapped squishy raccoon. Dreams felt far off, but you couldn't reach the normal, awake world either. It was a long night. In doubt the truth. Your second day in Golden Grove arrived. Yep, that's Jamie was able to continue what you're wearing during the game. Oh, you also be able to take off accessories like hats and scarves during certain in-game moments. Don't want to bother with changing your outfit. You can toggle these sections off from the detail screen. See dress up in the future? Sure. Have fun. See, is anything different? No, they're all the same. Oops. Should do this, yeah. Bum 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 bum. I think we're good. Secondly had only just arrived, only one corner of the world outside the window had any sunlight, the rest was all shadows. But in the house had to be turned on for you to see your own hands. Oh, there's more to play. Although it was early, ew. Your mom had to work really hard to get you up. Didn't mind that. It would be criminal to make people have to wake up this early, yes. Your home phone wasn't working yet, so you couldn't call the police or no mayor to complain. Perhaps your mom didn't start making you do chores. Ew. The game wouldn't be started again until a lot later. That's what your mom said when you were brushing your teeth. For now, you both only had what was already out. What you wanted to eat was still just the same stuff from yesterday. It was you had for your breakfast today, and you could see your mom packing it in a brown paper bag for lunch too. That was the last of the preparation she had to do for your school. You're pretty sure your mom really wanted to be the one to get your supplies for the day together. With stacks of stapled papers, a notebook, your pencil case, a ruler, and more into your backpack. Oh, we should save in a while. Just realized. Okay. I kept the pack on the middle seat of the car to make sure it wouldn't be right there when it was time to use it for class. If it had gone missing, maybe you would have had to carry your school stuff in a cardboard box, the same way you had to bring everything else you owned to this place in big boxes. You watched her from your comfy spot in your sleeping bag. You already gotten dressed for the day, but that didn't mean you could sit in bed again. There wasn't anywhere else to sit. Soon you'd be leaving the new house, the neighborhood, and all the parts of Golden Grove you'd gotten to see so far. Next stop into the unknown was North Acres Elementary School. Scary. You kind of wondering why your mom was bothering with making you bring so many things. All the stuff in the backpack would make you prepared for that. Exactly. The school thoughts were shaking out of your head when muffled something sound filled up the air. Mom also lowered her full hands down to the counter, and at the same time her head and eyebrows went up. Okay? Yes, are you at this hour to walk to school with? Mom left your lunch bag incomplete on the tabletop and went to investigate the knocking. Just for to beat your mom opening doors to sitting back. No. I usually don't answer the door. She put her handle down with a click and took the door forward. It squeaked open. Phone that was a call from your mom. Sapphire, could you come here? Oh, really? Did as you were asked. You pressed your hand into the shiny stuff bedding underneath you as you leaned onto your feet to get off the floor. You joined my mom at the start of the entryway. She was ahead, squinting your eyes to adjust from the comfy brightness and said to the pale dawn outside. Sitting tall on the wicker mat seemed totally at home at your home. The new friend he had met the other day before, Mr. Cullen, though he said he was also called Autumn. You're going to try using nicknames sometimes. Autumn's fluffy hood was tucked snugly around his head. He didn't usually do that, at least based on how much he knew was usual for him. Whoops. Maybe it was because the air was somehow even more skin-prickling cold in the morning than it was during the day or evening. He shuddered just from the wind coming through the opening. Caught sight of you there, a twinkle twinkled in his face. Held onto the balls of his feet, getting even taller, and cheered a greeting. Good morning. Seeing who it was, you skipped past the person by queue on the course, well, conversation by your mom. See they greet the guest, staying in place, then double him remember when you feel too late to go back to the room. Greet the guest. He smiled as bold as ever, and he took a full step aside so he was directly from the queue instead of mom. Hi, I'm Hella. Good morning to you. You're visiting me? You said amazed. You're visiting me. So confused. Right to my house. Let's do this one. Q stayed put in the new place he took, but angled his head up over to give his focus to your mom. I'm Mr. Cullen. I'm your neighborhood, and the same age as Miss Sapphire Nightmare. Two of us met yesterday. Oh, yes, I've heard. I was getting to meet you, and those feelings were well placed. You're so polite. Christian out to the line of his bandana with both hands, giggling cheekily as he made direct eye contact with you. Well, if somebody had been talking about me, I hope it was the good stuff. Well, now I should introduce myself as well. I'm Miss Nightmare, Sapphire's mother. This time was actually a bit longer than I thought it was. It's nice to meet you. We took with Miss Sapphire, Miss Nightmare. There's something I want to talk to her about. Thoughtfully, your mom glances drift down to you without looking back at him. Your mom replied, I'll be fine. I'll finish getting your bag ready, Sapphire. You two can chat. Q claps his hands together primarily. Thank you very much. Mom held a reassuring smile on her face and she looked back inside the house, leaving you alone with Q. You looked back at him eagerly. It was only morning, and something good was already happening. What did you want to say? Ron didn't beat around the bush with you. He probably didn't with anyone. He ran out with what he had in mind. Walked to school together. It's the first day. He put his shoulder and held a hand, coming down points on his fingers. We're going to the same place in the same grade. There's a good chance we'll be in the same class. Going together will make everything so easy. Okay. Alright. He put an enthusiastic double thumbs up. And guess what else has a reason why I should walk together? What? His gaze got sharper, but didn't feel scared at all. It was like a fancy cut jewel rather than a pointy weapon. Because I want you to be there. So yep, I think it makes a lot of sense that we go together. With his hands in his pockets, Q shifted the whole top half of his body diagonally over to one side. Though his head had really showed the bend in his self-pleased smile. Oh. He flung an arm back out and arched the fingers across the air in front of both your faces. Might have been to stop you before he could say anything, or to keep himself from getting whatever else he had want to talk about. It won't be just us. Then keep going down the cul-de-sac to Granny's house and ask Tamarack next. Well, that's it. I think all three of us walking together is a good plan, right? Yep, it's a great idea. On to go. Hung your hands behind you and spoke out again. I'll get my backpack and tell my mom we're going. Cool, I'll wait for you here for you. I was awed for a second, but didn't bother closing the door. 10 feet against the floor was the only noise in the huge house. You couldn't have stuck on my mom if you tried. Each step you took brought you closer, and it made the smile on her face grow larger. But she didn't get distracted by her job. Her gaze stayed stuck to the counter. Mom placed one more paper into your backpack and snapped the plastic clasps on the top flap closed. With that secured, she promptly picked it back up by the loop handle. She let herself down to your height by bending her knees low, then she offered the backpack over to you. Exceptional timing, dear. Here, you're set to go. Yay! It was nice and light when you took the pack from her. That wouldn't last soon. You would have actual school books to bring around with you. Pain. What with our guest? Did he leave? You answered the question while looping one arm after the other into the wet openings of your backpack straps. He's out there still. Q wants me to walk to school with him. Can I go? You shifted your grip to the dangly ends of the armbands, then gave them a swift tug to tighten the straps, fully securing the bag against you. He came over to ask you that. Talk about convenient. You, Mr. Lin, must know the way far better than I do. You certainly can walk together. Yay! Exactly what you thought she'd say. You count on her to understand. As she smiled, her face lit up softly like the early morning sunshine outside. I'll pitch the tip of your chin between her thumb. Oh, after your first day, there's only one of them per ear. Ew. Yes, that'll make it worse. You try to bury all that inside so no one could see. She go in order to place her hands on her thighs, needing to balance herself as she swiftly straightened up to her full height. Your mom folded her arms proudly, watching you leave for the day. You were going ahead without her. Through the open door, you could see Autumn patiently waiting on your porch still, turning his back to the house instead of looking around the neighborhood. To the side and at his attention. But Zay's skin to yours, and went back to back with your head on. Autumn grinned hopefully. No, Mom, it's okay. Let's hand to get enthusiastically. Alright, time to go. You know, Safi has been forever since I got to walk to school with her friends. Heard your ears going super alert. Said you were friends. Yay! Hopefully having a second go. Your plate in your head and made your stomach feel fluttery. You were friends. Yay! I'm glad we're friends. In ear to ear, Autumn was full of scrutiny. Same with me. Will eagerly slid all the way around his heels, commanded his feet into the floorboards of the porch to close out his move. He confidently strode forward and leapt over the little steps to get onto the ground. Autumn had places to be and nothing was going to stand in his way. Halfway, you went along with him down the stone path, past the fence and onto the neighborhood sidewalk. It took less than a minute to go around the bendy curve of your neighborhood that led to the least pointy, least clever home on the street. Hemrick's house. It's Romy and Papa's house. Q and you wandered right into the uncharted territory of their porch. Kate had odd rhythmic looks. Bum bum bum. Q brought his arms to his side, shook his head to readjust the way his hair fell around his shoulders, and just looked squarely in the center of the entryway. Oh, whoops, I didn't want to press the history. Bum, bum, bum. The old door began to jiggle in its frame like it was shivering cold from being outside this early too. Someone was fiddling with a doorknob on the other side. And then the door swung wide open with a clattering yank. There was a flowery perfumed air coming out from deep inside the house. Till collapsing the handle and leaning her head against the wood, Tamarack was there to greet you. She had her bag and scarf on for the other day already. Yay! Hello. Good morning, Tamarack. Her eyes popped open. She hadn't looked to see who was at her door before saying hello. She could tell who was from the answer. Tamarack's tone of voice lightened even more. You and Safi? Yeah, you're both here. Hi. That's right. We can ask you to go to school with us. You followed your invitation with a nod. We're all going that way. It'd be cool to walk as a group. She blinked rapidly, many times and all in a row. Soft pink light, her eyelashes looked almost like shimmering dragonfly wings. Oh, okay, I want to come. She said almost the whole way around, turning her back to you. You could just barely glimpse, and darkened hall behind her. Beyond her? Tamarack then leaned over, bending her knees, and powerfully shouted into the depths of the gray house. I go to school now. Her loud, high-pitched call echoed through the hallway. Have a good day, young lady. Tamarack hopped forward. It was small, but that was all it took to go from being in her house to being in the outside world. She took the doorknob with her to slam the door shut. I'm ready! Quickness of all of that was too much. He needed a second to catch up with it, but when he did, he chuckled. Perfect. Autumn lazily settled his hands on his hips, and his eyes moved way off the side, even though there was nothing special to see that way. So you actually gotta go to class. Yeah. She put her hips up and down in the air, a pattern that matched the pace of her yes. Let's see. We cannot go, you teased. We're definitely going. I'm walking both of you there. All closer together, you, Q, and Tamarack tumbled off the white wooden porch. A full set of cul-de-sac kids hit the road again. The trip was almost the opposite of last time. The sun was coming up instead of going down, leaving the neighborhood instead of going back to it. But that wasn't what really stood out to you. A little bit amazing you already could compare it to a last time. You could guess that this journey with them wasn't going to be the actual last time it ever happened. It just became the last time it happened before the new next time. The first part of the school trip wasn't hard. It's only one way out of your neighborhood unless I'm hiked out into wherever the woods went. That would be cool. Maybe we'll do that someday. Your actual path forward had you brushed past the forest fork that originally led you to meeting Q and Tamarack. But you weren't stuck with the same limits as before. This morning he moved right on by, without even stopping to check what might be hidden away back there. Now he traveled even further. The woods crowded in closer and closer around the one road that led out. Until suddenly, structures began to appear in between the bushes. A big overhang of leaves pulled apart to show the sky, rolled and folded ahead of you. Sunshine climbed the mountains to just barely tickling your cheeks while the stars still clustered against your back. You're right in the center of Windy Mountain. I will say the backgrounds look very nice. Instead of a windy mountain path, it flowed over the uneven ground, zooming in, making every small bump and bend like a black river. Along the street, huge wooden poles rose into the sky in a row that rivaled the trees, stretching phone lines and reaching branches wove the whole town together. Even though the Golden Grove was a lived-in place with man-made things, the vast wilderness was just as much a neighbor to the residents as the real-life people neighbors. Tara trembled over the grass, swishing her arms in full-length swings in front of her. She could get anywhere near the tarmac. Hughes Shred was a lot breezier, took the spot in the line closest to the road, and didn't even check for cars. It's great to know. He should be safer. His eyes were aimed at the nebulous sky. Ended up somewhere in between. Now Tarek was a swoosh and Q was a breeze, you were a storm. Each step was heavy and crushing. You had to deal with your bad mood if you had to deal with a new school. Exactly. All the air went out the window and Q started moving his hands around even more than Tamrak. He frantically stuck his fingers in and out of each of his pockets while poking his tongue out of the corner of his mouth. You and Tamrak just watched as he tugged his jacket and planned while walking. Few probably shared the exact same thought. He was looking for a notebook of paper or something. It was paper. One of his special tan pages. The thing Q grabbed was a thick folded pack of white printer paper that was covered all over in tiny ink words. You could instantly tell what it was. How many papers stapled together with that many little words on them only came from one place, school. Ew! Q held it close to his face. He had his nose completely in what was basically a book, but for a reason he started to talk to you and Tamrak. What room did you get? The second Q peeked over the pages to look at the both of you. Who's your teacher? Tara thought hard, but she didn't find an answer in her head. She scratched her flap under her head on the top of her bag without unbuckling it. She had to find her own papers. I read it earlier. I'm gonna check. Mom told you, but I forgot. I'm going to check your school stuff too. Mom put a big packet of papers into your backpack. You just need to find it. While you read around for that, Q shouted. Here it is. Room 24, Miss Murray. Q used his thumbs to bend the papers down. As while hiding his face, and you could see he was stunned. He put her packet in the air in a crinkled flurry. Me too! Great. What are you, Safi? Is it Miss Murray 3? Winked. Your papers from your bag and sped read the huge chunk of long words that explained the school procedure and student enrollment. Lucky for you, the part you need to know was smacked up on the front. Yay, we're all Miss Murray. Mrs. Murray, I mean. I am. We're all cheers. Closed your eyes and nodded. Yay, it's this one. This was both Q and Tamrak. By giving you the papers, Q probably got this from his mom and dad, and Tamrak from her Omi and Opa. Despite being kind of different, the papers were all the same. Miss Mark still in its regular spot on Q's face, all according to plan if he somehow could have planned it. We're roommates. Didn't need the packet for anything else, so he stuffed it into his back pocket with a shrug of his one shoulder. There was only 3 50 copies we could have been in. I mean, we could have all been different ones. When Q made sure it was deep enough to not just fall out, he brought both his arms into an even bigger shrug and chuckled too. And Mrs. Murray almost made it without her being my teacher. It was close. Eric peered into her face with wide eyes, leaning over so much that she almost walked into her. But to say her question was with the words, Q got it. Don't worry, she's nice. She's the best teacher for you too. He made a very serious and reassuring occasion with his fingers, but instant it snapped into a pointing gesture. And you're probably going to be shocked, but Mrs. Murray isn't just a teacher, she's a mom. She has kids that are just her kids, not students. Wow! That's weird. Why would that be weird? I think you're weird, Q, you joked. I think you're weird, Q says you said bluntly. I never want to teach as my parent. Kind of fun to have a teacher who's a parent. You stared in amazement. You stared the two of them for how big a deal they made it. No teacher could have a kid. Well, they can. I know where we're really going. I can bring us right to the door. Extra burst of confidence got Q to take a few long strides ahead of you and Tamrak keeping his chin high. Tamrak bossed against the grass, your knees high to catch up. She didn't let him keep the lead he took. He shyly caught up. Fell forward to get back in the middle of the row. You're greeted with grins from both of them. Your steps came back into a steady rhythm between the 3 of you. Let's see. Here, Tamrak, are you worried about this new school? Just like me. No. This came so quickly and surely that it made you blink. You like school? The time you took longer. Whipped her head from one side to another like she was shaking her thoughts until the right one could fall out of her ear. That's good. Well, that's sort of surprising. I would have guessed you just wanted to play outside. Her eyes narrowed but were clearer than ever. They burned with intensity. Learning is important. I guess. With one eyebrow raised, Q crossed his arms in front of him, maybe trying to defend from such a fiery sting. Wow, that's wise. It is for a kid, I guess. So, hopefully that was enough to make it seem like you were listening. Your gaze was fixed on the ground, your stomach was knotted. You're closer to your trouble destination, exactly. Zaffy, I was just wondering. You shifted your head face towards his voice. He paused to tuck the hood of his jacket further back on his head to keep the fluffy part from blocking his view of you. How are you doing today? The question almost made you stop moving right in the middle of walking to school. The words weren't cheerful. He wasn't flat or bored. He wasn't asking that question the way a person in a store had to ask because that was her job. It was still quieter, slower. He was asking thoughtfully. Some Autumn saying anything in a way that wasn't all confident or fun or smug, but freezing cold even though it was still nice. You thought you weren't happy about things. You were sure of it. Action was enough for Tamrock to also know something was wrong. Zaffy, are you sick? That's nothing, Rabati said. Leave me alone. I'm okay. I want to go, he sniffled. You can speak. Your room's so very for his answer. Let's see. Go to school, you whispered. Tarek and Q frowned. Now no one was happy. I don't know what it's like to move someplace else or go to a school that's different than before, not even a tiny bit. Think about me doing it, I feel like it'd be tough. Since you're really doing it, I guess that means you're pretty tough. You too, Tamrock. They're up front, upside down. On an adventure. Things are getting good, you'll see. Oh, I'm dreading school though. Excited for. You weren't even sure what was about this what made her so excited. Maybe Tamrock thought change was fun, and that she didn't care what changed. No matter what that spark was, it could be put out by anything. Q bounced off her positively. Yeah, great stuff is right around the corner. But maybe not having to go to class after that part. He got Tamrock to laugh with that, her hands squishing her cheeks in delight. But the happiness did help a little. Thanks. It's okay. Somehow your own face lit up in a smile. Still had no idea what you were going to do at a new school and a whole new life, and not every little piece of your world was terrible. But to push yourself to keep going. Yay. The longer the walk went on, the more Tamrock's gaze was pulled to the forest edge along the road, to the woods right in front of her. Her steps drifted unevenly. You couldn't blame her. I'm the same during the trip a few times. You weren't the only one who noticed her focus. Hey, so it's kind of funny how both of you like the woods that much. It's the only nice place I've ever seen so far. It's in the plainest way possible, and the words don't make you guess hard enough to cough. Have you been places other than the forest? Yeah, lots. They're not good. Can't believe it. That would give a deal. I think I was probably right. The town's not going to be better. You should try to make Tamrock change her mind on what she likes, Q. Needs to say the woods are the only good place, Tamrock. On the bright side, there's more forest for her and more neighborhood for you. Let's think about it. He shook off the shock Tamrock hit him with. Turned his cheek to the front as he rolled his shoulder. He was readying up for a comeback. Guess I can give you one thing. There's a pretty special kind of fun that, in all the years of living here, you can only ever have out in these very woods, nowhere else. Really, what is it? That's why I love you, Safi. I can listen to you for 3 hours straight. Thank you! I'm assuming the demo's gonna end when we go to school, but yeah, I'll keep going. I just like reading, so it's a real and Tamrock was hooked on it. Just like he invested in whatever mystery Q had up on his line. Too much. I wish I could like read manga on stream or something, but yeah, that would maybe DMC is so hard. I'm not gonna tell you. What? Tamrock shrieked in a tone so high, scared away a bird who was minding its own business in the tree above. It was hook, line, and sinker. The beat of his wings fluttering through the air matched Q's giggling. He brought a hand to his chin and lowered a mischievous glance at Tamrock. One day you'll understand, probably. That was really it. He closed up his lips, folded his arms, and settled into not explaining for the rest of the walk. Tamrock could accept that, once you get the hint. She trusted him with a passion, her words getting stronger every time she repeated them. Tell me the thing, tell me the special thing, Q, tell me the special thing. It was too funny, that's not fair, Q, we can figure it out for sure, Big Tamrock. Q didn't disagree, but he still didn't give any more clues. The conversation of Tamrock's attempts, he squeezed Q for info, their comments on it, and the snickers that escaped from Q continuing while you're headed towards your goal. Down that road some more, over a crosswalk, past the main street taking a turn at the corner. That's when the widest building you've seen so far came to view. It's the school. There had been taller ones, because that one only had 2 floors. There was a lot of floors. North Acres Elementary School. Name made sense. Not exactly how many acres it was. Dozens of other kids were pouring out from a few different paths, mixing together under the front arches above the giant door. You had to stand up straight, wanting to do the right thing. Then you went through the door, sticking even closer by your group than on the walk there. But there's still more. So it was a long hall with different doors and a staircase on the side. It was shiny and dull. They'd been cleaned so hard for so long it made everything even more worn down than normal. Ain't that the truth? Posters, boards with a bunch of paper sheets tucked on lined the walls. Nobody was even looking at them. The message they had might never have been read. The floor had a checkered tile patterns. Isn't that the most normal thing for school? So the kids around made sure to only walk on one of the colors and avoid the other. I did that too when I was younger, and it was loud. There was too much sound from the crowds for the hall to hold. It echoed around, which made it even louder. This was your school now. Q tapped your shoulder, pointed with his other hand. He figured that was his way to say that you had to keep going, without having to yell so you could hear. The three of you pressed past other students. Make sure you didn't get separated. Step by step, you climbed upwards and forwards. And I should save. Oop. Anna moved a hand towards the right door when you reached it. Right for the first day of class, right on time. Where are you gonna go by backseating and speeding? Okay. I'm planning to end in around 10 minutes actually, so 10 to 15ish minutes. So yeah. Even if we don't finish the demo, but I think we got far enough to demo though. That I think everyone has an idea of how it's like. A little bit of cold. I might finish it. I'm not quite too sure how much I have left though, but a little bit of cold you brought inside the school on the tip of your nose and over your cheeks, while finally dripped off your face. It was nice and warm when you went into the room. Your brand new class, 5th grade, room 24, smelled like people out at work. Some construction paper, crayons, glue, everything could be made with that. There were tons of leaves stuck to the different colored walls, climbing around the windows, hanging from shelves, sticking out from behind boards, where some of those things could be made. Kids sat together in close groups. The desks were pushed up to make bigger tables. There was just one chair by itself, right at the front, or the back if the way was the front door. Jack took in a broad breath of waxy air. Ew. Well, I thought it was gonna be ugly. Dude, but this is cool. It is ugly. Well, why would you think that? It's good you were surprised, huh? Like your uncle in our class, you said, so confused. Kindergarten, you said excitedly. That means how all the decorations were. Okay, just a classroom. Yeah. Otto shrugged his backpack off to the floor. With a grunt, a puff of air came out, not totally zip top. Nothing in the place caught his eye, in a good way or a bad one. It was like nothing around him existed. He was just watching you and Tamrak look. He chuckled at the faces you both made. Classes looked the same for every room, in every grade, every year. But it wasn't that he couldn't see what you did, it was that he already seen 110 times or more. He knew school as well as he knew everything else in Golden Grove. He kicked his backpack behind him, to be up against the wall, never glancing down. There's already a bunch of other bags there, sat one by one along the far side of the room. They were almost completely hidden under a row of hooks. They had coats and jackets and stuff cluttered around them in stacked piles. There weren't enough holders for all the layers people brought. I know. Yeah, this is like one of my really old classrooms. Very lucky. This is your first time here. We're gonna have to do it once. We're gonna graduate and go to different school next year. We'll all be new kids then. He talked while he put his arms out of the jacket, voicing him where so far. Castled on the top of a rounded lump of other coats with the hook somewhere below it all. Frank watched, and then she tugged at the end of her scarf to undo the knot it was wrapped in. She talked too. I told you this place was weird and never changed. That made Q poof at her. The sound was almost exactly the noise his backpack made a minute ago. Well, I'm not here by choice. I still woke up earlier than 10. I still need to sleep. Don't worry, Benz. I am planning to actually end stream in like around 8 minutes, around 8 to 10 minutes. Like I said, we might not finish the demo today, but it's okay. Like I said, this is a free game, so everyone can actually download and play it at any time, as well as their first game. It's also the main story itself is also entirely free to play too. School's different than the entire town, Tamrak. Tamrak didn't say more words against that. She just got on her tiptoes to sling her untied scarf. Oops. Over Q's jacket, building a mountain of stuff on the one hook even higher. Q shoved his bandana deep into one of his pockets and lifted up his other shoulder. You're right, the class is always the same. The interesting thing about this visual novel, Benz, is that you can either have actually make it a romantic story. You don't have to make it a romantic story either. It can just be friends, or you can be so mean to them that you're not friends at all and you guys hate each other. That class is always the same. Seeing Autumn without his fluffy jacket felt like seeing a lion without his mane. He pulled his arms right across his chest and gazed upon what you were staring to get was his kingdom. He held the part of a lion even without the jacket. Though Q acted like that was it for getting ready, he had taken his gloves off. Was he gonna wear those to class? Tamrak held tight to the strap of her bag. It for sure wasn't going with the rest of the packs. Then she was definitely already done with the putting your stuff away part of getting to school. Tamrak's overalls were the most overclothes she had once the scarf was off. No coat or a cool poncho or anything. The overalls were kind of short too, they didn't cover her whole legs. Her ankles had long socks and yellow rubber rain boots to keep them warm. We had to wonder if she didn't feel cold the same way most people did. I'll leave my stuff on. Good morning and welcome, students. Glanced over your shoulder. The open doorway was another new person for you to have to know. Her braids did match a few of the kids there, but she wasn't going to be sitting in the desks with them. She was twice as tall as everyone else in the room. It had to be the teacher, Miss Murray. Her soft brown eyes looked down over you and your neighbors while she tapped a finger against her speckled face. Why was that so hard to say? Her skin was almost like stars. The sky was light at night, and the stars were the darker parts. Her rosy pink lips parted in a smile. She climbed her chin towards Q. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you here, Mr. Keelan. This will be a good year. Yeah, he's a troublemaker. Q switched words on as far as it could go, and the same time he opened his arms wide, he turned his head away too. Kind of tone your mom would have when she had old work friends over and they'd ask if they could sit her up on a blind date. Quickly cheerful and not real, trying to be nice but wasn't trying that hard. Though when his eyes are rolling away, his eyes gazed past over you and got stuck there. A side grin tugged at the corners of his mouth at the sound of his voice went from off-key to a lullaby. Maybe. Miss Murray's pencil-pointed eyebrows lifted. She looked one time, and then her own smile grew. It was shared with you and Tamrock next. Hello, I'm your teacher, Miss Murray. Am I right to say that you're Tamrock Ballman and Sapphire Nightmare? Yes, teacher. Tamrock both her hands in the air and swept it in place to swing her back so that it hung behind her back. I'm Tamrock. That's so great. Miss Murray spoke sweetly in a way that was just nice. I wasn't surprised or relieved to find out the answer. You probably didn't need to ask to know who you were. Teachers knew a lot. If you'd be so kind, would you mind coming over to my desk over there in the far corner? I'd like to talk to you before class begins. Okay. Caroline lowered her hands down to her side. Still bumped her bag around by pushing it up and down with her butt. Quite loudly, and Miss Murray heard not to hear. What don't talk so about? I want to see if I can help you a bit. Does that work? Alright. Thank you, both of you. She gestured lightly with her hand for you to come and left the doorway. Hugh turned his head to follow the teacher. More and more of his dark hair eclipsed your view for the rest of him as she walked away. On the last side of his face, there had been a frown on it. As she was really gone, he swung back towards you and Tamarack. Autumn was smirking then. Good look out there. He over one foot and bent his body way down. Her legs kicked into the air. They balanced better than a flamingo. Autumn slipped a hand under his jacket on the hook, and also under Tamarack's scarf, which was still on top of it, and dug around in the fabric. He didn't come out empty-handed. He got a hold of his favorite notebook and pencil. He slowly lifted his chest up and brought his one hovering foot down to earth again. The whole thing was graceful. But he followed it by wildly waving his notebook goodbye at you. And a paper fell out when he did it. Ah! Tamarack squealed, trying to talk, but too fast so none of it was real words. Here's her arms to Q graspingly, like she could pick him up and plant him back where he dropped his thing. That didn't work either. He stepped away on light feet, carefree, and joined up with one of the groups of the desks. They all raised their hands and waited when he arrived. He was gone, and the teacher was waiting. Karen squinted her dark red eyes tightly, directed her gaze towards you because it wasn't like anyone else in the room could understand her. Give her a look. He's so cute and he's so great. Tried telling the silver guy. She got him in front. She got him a little grimace with a grin. It's going to be long, however, what it is. Picked up the paper and peeked at what it said. Picked up the paper and put it in your pocket without knowing. Took the paper and see what it says. It'd be lined to the 10 page on the dark blue carpet and snatch it off the ground, or someone could step on it or could blow away and get lost in the middle of a forest. Putting it in your pocket, you read over the top side and humped it over to see the back. It was a list of foods and other things. Maybe he was trying to remember stuff to get, and he went to the store with his parents. Took it away in your pocket. That was taken care of. Tara pretended to be a jack-in-the-box like she did yesterday. This time was by bending her knees before bouncing straight. Their fluffy locks of hair shook around her round cheeks. Come on, Sapphy. Yay! She looked at the teacher's desk all smiles, caught her up to her no time and walked the rest of the way side by side. Off in the corner of the other side of the room was the teacher's old dark brown desk. At least the very top of the wood was dark, and the part was a lot lighter. You could see that from all the tiny cuts and scratches all over the surface. It was as far away from these desks as it could be. Yes, that was so she could have these type of talks without everyone else hearing the whole thing. Just stay for just a little longer, maybe read for like 3 more minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to end streaming around 2 to 5-ish minutes, so yeah. Miss Murray didn't sit in the cool rolling chair that went behind the desk, stayed in front and only leaned her back against the top edge. She got to talk to you and Tamarick gently because she didn't have to push her voice with a piece of furniture that separated students and teachers. I appreciate coming to this meeting. I want to let you know a little about today, what you can expect from your first day. Why? Well, this class has a unique arrangement of the students, with only 2 has never attended this school before, Everyone else was simply returning after summer break. I'll introduce you during roll call later. I want all the other kids to know who you are. Oh. Tamarack flipped at the buckles of her bag, made a clicking sound when she hit them up, and a thump when they landed back down. Thank you, no problem. Days went around too. The meeting wasn't exciting anymore. You were with Tamarack, that wasn't a big deal. She was definitely smart, that would help a lot. Are you ready for school? But you weren't sure anymore. Everyone else was sure to make you feel special. It was so awkward, you knew it. Exactly. You was there and make faces, and you had to sit there, or stand there, like a big weirdo while the teacher talked all about you. The face you made wasn't what any teacher would have wanted when they told their students their plans for class. Miss Murray could only offer promises over her plans and no proof. Make sure it'll be alright, the kids will get it. The teacher slid her hands across the desktop behind her and spread her fingers out wide. In a couple of minutes, I'll be telling the class to take their assigned seats. They'll have those spots for the rest of the year. Rest of the year? No changes? Noticing plan already. There's a bit of wiggle room to help you get comfortable if you'd like. Tamarack's hands flew from the back to her cheeks. That sounded like a smack. Does that mean me and Savvy get to sit together because we're neighbors and friends? Carapace made you want to cover your face with your hands too for a really different reason. You were so nervous. Your heart was going to stop running out of your chest. The teacher said if you get to be with Tamarack the whole year or not. Tickle was in Miss Murray's eyes when she finally said what you were hoping for. I thought she wanted to pause on purpose to make it more dramatic. Yes, I can put you next to each other. Yay! Ah! The Tamarack exploded in separation. She sprung over so close to your face, you leaned back without even thinking about it. Even with that, your nose almost poked yours. What? Seth, we're gonna sit together! Yay! Yeah. We got something then. Anything else? Yeah, Kara's gonna sit with Q. We're both your house neighbors. Tamarack and Q had to be your seat neighbors too. Miss Murray was a really popular lady from what you'd see. She had one wrinkle on her fancy suit, but creases suddenly appeared around her eyes and mouth after she heard that. Mine spelled what again? I'm sorry, I'm glad I get along with Q, but there are students who want to sit next to him last year and didn't get to. It's their turn now. No! Your eyebrows went up so high you could have almost lost them. That many people who want to sit by Q? Sag. It was kind of rude to the teacher, but you had to turn your head right around. Oops. Head right around to look at the guy you'd been talking about. Rolling over the bunch of desks from before and stopped talking to the other kids you didn't know, with a big smile on every face. Tilted your head back when it came, not all the way. You only moved enough to be looking to the side instead, at Tamarack. Her gaze was directed straight at you too. She put the straw up in her bag that was weighing against her chest. It's the day you moved in. It had just been the three of you in the cul-de-sac. Even if the day you moved in was yesterday, it was the same group, you, Tamarack, and Q neighbors. We weren't exactly in your neighborhood anymore, and outside of that street, Tamarack was exactly like you were, and Q wasn't. You and her were strangers in Golden Grove now. You didn't know people, and they didn't know you. You had been there forever. And it wasn't only that, you learned something new on your first day of school. Q was popular. Gasp! You're glad to have a friend like Tamarack even more, so maybe you're going to be popular too. Or how many other kids liked him, Q was your friend too. Will that change things? The three of you are still friends? That's what mattered, what other people thought of your friends. Looking at her didn't stop your teacher from trying to talk to you. Sapphire, I'm sure once you're in a seat, you'll get used to it. Sure, soon you won't want to be anywhere else. If not, you can come talk to me about it. Yes, Miss Murray. She didn't talk the desk up anymore. It was gonna have to win you over on its own or not. So, Miss Murray had to wait for you and Tamarack to stop your shared stares in surprise, and then she pointed across the floor to the desk near the back that were side by side. Those are yours. Tamarack's is the closest to the wall, and Sapphire, yours is the one next to that. No, we don't get window seat. Window seat. Gonna sit the window seat. No, we didn't get the window seat. Ramsey has to sit next to someone else. Tamarack silently played some here himself without a song about her brand new desk. She does a roll call. There won't be any surprises. It'll be regular, easy first day of class. We're having a chat with me. You can take your seats. Tamarac's cheeks inflated as she put a smile between the two balls of air. Okay, let's go, Sapphire. All right. She just stayed resting up against her desk while Tamarack went towards your seats. Tamarack sent quick, excited glances from the desk and back to you over and over as they walked towards them. She chatted about how things was going to be so fun being there next to each other and all the things you could do during the year. It was hard not to believe her. She beamed so bright, it was like her sparkly golden hair made the sunshine that filled the room. Tamarack slipped along with her rosy cheeks, and every time she giggled over getting to sit by you, it only felt as warm as being in the sun, even a call came from when you just left. Okay, I guess we'll save and end here, actually. Let's see. Okay, let's actually just save in tab 2. Yeah, let's do this. Bum. To the main menu. Yes. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna end here actually, guys. The demo was longer than I thought it was, actually by quite a fair bit. I don't think we have any extras unlocked. Oh no, there is. This is tracks though, basically. It's your turn. So yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. Like I said, you can download this on itch.io, on Steam as well. They have another work that also plays similar to this, called Our Life Beginning and Always. That one's completely free and it's done. It's the first work. And like I said, I did hear about this demo because of the first game. I have yet to play it though. The main game for the first one is entirely free, and anything that's paid is just extra DLC stuff like extra scenarios or voice acting, basically. But if you don't care for voice acting, you don't really have to buy those packs and everything. Yeah, you still get a complete experience, whether or not you like finish the game and stuff. Yeah, but the same question started. I was tired from work. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Make sure you guys all sleep and are nice and healthy before you watch a stream and everything, you know? Yeah, so thanks everyone for coming. I'm gonna end stream now very, very soon. So yeah, because I had somewhere to be in like 30-ish minutes. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming. I don't know if we'll finish this game or not, because like I said, I'm not quite too sure how much we'll have left, because, well, like I said, this game is entirely free. You guys can just like download it and play it as well if it interests you. And it's not interests you and stuff, so yeah. And I'll be ending stream now. Bum 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 bum. Oh, and tomorrow's gonna be drawing stream. It'll be romance themed. I'm not quite too sure exactly what the romance theme will be. Maybe I'll draw like couples or OC couple. We'll see. See you soon. Yeah, see you soon, Benz. Bye, and see everyone else soon too. Dun 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 dun.